reminds me when I feel insecure.
You are listening to the Lucha Central Podcast Network. And now, LuchaCentral.com presents Masks, Mats, and Mayhem.
I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
Welcome to another edition of Masks, Mats, and Mayhem. I'm your host, Justin Outlaw Harvey. You can find me on social media at Justin Harvey 75. You can find the entire show on social media at MMMshow 75. You can find that guy downstairs at Tony Allen, the hi-hat guy. How's it going, Tony?
It's going, man. It's like I got a holidays hangover, I guess. Although I did not drink it. This is third year without drinking.
You did even on your birthday? Because your birthday was during the holiday season too, right?
Yeah, I did not. I did not drink on my birthday. So
you're supposed to drink on your birthday. You promised us.
Yes. Sorry, guys. Sorry to disappoint you. I'm way too healthy. Is this better? This is better. Or feet was weird on the vertical. So
gotcha. You fixed it.
Yeah. Somebody was.
We're all logged in as the admin now, so I think when we turn our cameras off, it's always a picture of Tony.
Oh, such a great photo.
Hey, just not Tony.
if you ever flown on an airplane with a cowboy hat, that's what that photo is from. So.
Dude, you have to fly with the cowboy hat on because otherwise you're paying like $60 just to check a hat box.
Well, you can take it on the overhead, but
right. I mean, that's what I said.
It gets stupid.
I have a hat.
Here's all the banners I put on those.
And then I have a hat box
why
for a cowboy hat.
Byron like 3 seconds behind on our audio?
Is Byron behind?
Yes, he talks.
I'm not behind.
Oh,
I'm right here. I'm moving back into my office, so I'm still like plugging into stuff. But I just want to know, I'm going into the StreamYard app. Where are all the Casey banners that I made where I cursed them out because I wanted to abuse admin privileges?
I don't know. I mean, they might have gotten I tend to just recycle banners like I just did this one. It used to say 207. Now it says 208. 208 times we've done this, Byron.
And we still haven't changed our intro.
Yeah, I just wanted the ones where I was cursing at Casey for no reason whatsoever, and it would make no sense to anyone, but it would make me pretty happy, and I think you would chuckle.
Right. Maybe.
But it would ultimately be frustrating, which is kind of
so thing. That's at Byron Fever. Catch it.
Wait, you could catch Sting and me giving each other emotional support right now. He's giving me a hug.
Change your slogan. I think it's a little insensitive right now with this flu A thing going around. I had that and I almost died. When last you guys saw me, the last hour of
that was crazy.
That was crazy. Yeah.
I was dying. I had like 103 fever. I got off after that show and proceeded to not eat or drink water or anything for like 48 hours. I
know people who got that too. You know what's funny? After you told me what you had, I took someone to the urgent care who had the exact same symptoms, but was like, "Oh, this has to do with like the thing I already had that's getting much worse." And I said, "No, I think you just have the flu virus thing that my friend got on top of the flu and on top of the cold, on top of everything else." So I think like right now you're getting stuff is stacking, and he didn't listen to me, and then he came out of the urgent care doctor visit all like peppy and was like, "Yeah, I got anti-nausea medicine. I got a shot in my butt. I feel great." And I got, he
does have the Superman spit curl. Goatse, he has it. It's official.
Yes, what up? It's one of the many things Superman and I have in common. Hey, Goatsy, I do want to say I'm sorry for not responding to you. Happy New Year to you and your family. I am almost getting resentful of all of your wonderful vacations. that you don't invite me
Yeah,
on.
it used to be we would feel bad for Goatse. He'd be like, "Oh, nothing ever happens in my life. I'm stuck in the house. I just watch wrestling. Life sucks." And then like he's going to the Mediterranean, and now he's traveling. Like the dude is all over the place.
Sends me a picture of his new kitchen cabinets. He's like, I put these in. They look great. I'm like,
Goatse is
cool.
balling. Yeah, it's funny to you, man. You come to Cleveland, and you'll see how not funny it actually is. All right, so topic number one. I'm gonna get right to it. Oh, what happened on Monday Night Raw? It's the 1-year anniversary of Raw on Netflix, and we're going all Stranger Things.
For no reason.
For no reason, and everything's in the upside down. And apparently, by upside down, that means that we can't even hold championship belts anymore.
Hold on. For no reason. Also, for no purpose. There was no cast. There was no tie-in besides
there was
like a prop on the stage.
I read on Variety or some shit that they were gonna have like Millie Bobby Brown and Liv Morgan interact at one point. And it was like, okay, maybe, because there's, I don't know if everybody knows, there's this insane theory that was not the last episode of Stranger Things, because we can no longer accept that showrunners don't run shit. Sorry. Did I
Well,
hurt
not
anybody's
when
feelings?
they're major IP franchises these days. Those are corporate run things. It's the Feige
It was
of the
bad. It
world.
was really bad. It was.
Well, they have an annual like pop-up events for Stranger Things. That I've even gone to one where like they set stuff up, you drive your car through it and you see stuff and you hear sounds. You're like, this is so cool. They have to be making so much money off of that.
Well, yeah, I'm
Why
looking on my
would they
Netflix right now.
stop
There's been
making
all
money
this-
off of that
this
for
talk of
something called like
another-
creative integrity?
There's been all this talk of another episode, but I believe it's just going to be a behind the scenes thing, isn't it?
No, it's nothing. They thought that they wrote that was a fake out, and this was gonna be today around this time. They were gonna have another episode that will fix everything it's called plot holes. And sometimes writers write themselves into some shit that they cannot
I thought
fucking
the ending was
finish.
fine.
Yeah,
though.
It was okay. It wasn't terrible. I mean, it was
Okay, no, hold on. Don't say it wasn't terrible.
It was terrible.
A pretty good
okay.
45 minutes. But then you have like they have like the urgency of everything. Then all of a sudden portals open and the two girls are trying to go to them and they walk super slow for 45 minutes
And
to get
talk
to
a
them.
lot.
It's so dumb.
Well, and then the epilogue is an hour long, just like it was last season.
That's what I
And they
didn't
don't
get,
answer
'cause-
the thing. Sorry, go ahead.
No. The thing is that they got to the part was supposed to be an epilogue, and everybody's just in a graduation.
And the crowd goes mild.
It was.
You want to know? They just got grabbed by the fucking bad army, which, not to be topical or anything,
Oh wow!
but
yeah.
they got grabbed by, not going to. We don't do that here. But
We don't do that here. We don't talk
if
about
you
that.
pay attention to anything going on,
I'm
you know
just really
that we have
happy-
one of those now.
Well,
And they got grabbed by them, and they don't have any kind of rules or anything that they obey by.
Daniel wanted some
These
Demogorgons.
people know way too much. Somehow they got kidnapped, and then the bad people didn't get what they wanted, and then all of a sudden everyone gets let go. And
But
it's fine, no
Byron,
one's mad at each other.
But
Danielle-
Byron, the Mind Flayer was a TP, so that's a good plot point, right? He was a
also,
house. The
Danielle,
Mind
they
Flayer
didn't-
was somebody's house.
They didn't have Demogorgons because they didn't render on time, and they just sent that into.
Look, if they didn't render on time and the episode was still an hour and 56 minutes, then I don't know. I know a lot of people that saw it in the theater, and people seemed like they enjoyed it, whatever. But back to the Raw tie-in. So the series is already over.
That's what we're
Everyone's seen
talking
the
about.
Stranger Things.
Speaking of long-winded shows with no creative purpose or direction or ending, let's talk about Raw.
Okay, so here's my thing with WWE right now. We're doing this for the second year in the row. And last year, it made sense to me. Okay, we're going to do some very quick, hard resets. We're going to get out of some storylines. We're going to tie up this bloodline Umathala thing. We're going to hot shot some belts around. We're going to move Damian Priest over SmackDown, even though he's been carrying Raw for 7 months and kill his career. We're going to make Jey Uso a main event guy. I don't know. Like they did all these things to reset for WrestleMania season. It's now making like everything that happens in the 5 months of NFL football season not worth watching ever, because at the end of it, every time now, they just reset everything. How many new champions do we have in WWE in the last 10 days? It's absurd.
Well, that's the whole thing people were saying about Triple H saying coming out after one show and going, it's a new era, which they do. I mean, this is not even my own line. They do it every month.
Special announcements. Everything's a new era. You know, what does a new era mean? New era means Liv Morgan's back today and is taking a belt from somebody who's had it for 6 months for no reason.
You know what the constant new era thing is? That's an Eric Bischoff and Vince Russo thing.
Yeah. Back
in WCW when they constantly were retconning when one of them would get fired and rehired back.
Was part of their contracts, so I get it. Like, and we're not even trying to pop numbers with this stuff. We're doing it quietly on one of the traditionally lowest rated SmackDown episodes of the year is when we're making Carmelo a champion. Like, do you want people to know that this guy is a champion? Or are we just putting the belt on him so we can give him a pat on the back match for, you know, suffering through his best of 7 series with Andrade? Like, what are we doing? And don't get me wrong, it worked. People were cool with Carmelo winning. I'm cool with Carmelo winning. I dig it. But at the same time, like, holy, make it matter. Like, can we do something to make this stuff matter? And then, of course, Maxine was dropping back to Becky. But, like, do we have to do it all this week?
I just wish that match was a lot better.
I mean,
oh God. Can you guys tell me what that one move was where Maxine goes for a backslide and then first of all, that's dumb. Second of all, it doesn't make sense. Third of all, it makes your opponent look like a idiot. Also, the Bubba Bomb, where you do a full Nelson and you do a sit out, that's also incredibly stupid. We're dumb as wrestling fans, but we're not very impressive,
and it actually hurts people's backs more than a lot of other moves.
The math doesn't work on it.
It doesn't work. The math doesn't work on it. I'll tell you what, I've seen a tremendous amount of DDT type moves recently where I don't know who is supposed to be taking the impact, where if it's a back bump to the person who's over top of the neck, or if we're putting the other person down on their head, it just looks like they both went splat. And I've seen probably 4 or 5 of those between AEW and NXT, especially in the last 2 weeks, of like, what? Who is that move supposed to be impacting? What is happening here?
Speaking of DDTs, I just saw one in my algorithm. Momokoko from Stardom, who doesn't win really, but she has this really cool move. She calls it, she's looking for a name, I guess, but she posted it and said this is a 619 DDT. It's like a tornado DDT off the ropes, but you kick your legs around like a 619.
Right.
You hold the ropes with your hand
through and come
and
back.
You go, well, she goes over. So you post up with one hand and you go over, and it looks cool.
Yeah, it's like the backspin thing that Psychosis used to do. Yeah. When he was running the ropes, but that would be a person bent over in the middle of the ring, and then he would spin around on top of them and come back to the ropes the same way that he came from, which was dope. Like he would kind of merry-go-round himself around the person. But the 619, but then into the DDT. That's dope. That's cool.
Yeah.
Rebecca with the solid read there. When both people look like they need the last rites, it doesn't work.
Wasn't that Undertaker's choke submission?
Oh God!
Isn't that the last ride? No,
no, that was the last ride.
He gave it to one of the kids on Evolve or LFG or one of those shows.
How generous!
By the way, big shout out to Lainey Luck, who appeared on Evolve tonight, which is pretty cool. She's the WWE Women's ID champ right now. It's pretty awesome considering Lainey has just been out there grinding up in Chicago for a long time and is finally getting some recognition for all her hard work. Hell's Gate, yes, that God.
Hell's Gate.
Brent, you're supposed to be an AEW guy. How you remembering obscure WWE stuff from 10 years ago?
Brent, you need to be sending me. You need to be my data guy, like sports commentators have during the games.
Just like
Brent being a respectfully well-rounded fan aficionado. Love it.
I will not have it. Tribalism.
Okay, we got to talk about the freaking Braun Breaker CM Punk thing, because here's the thing.
Do you really want to go there?
I do
No,
want to
I'll
go
He's
there
there
your boy,
because
and then you're gonna get mad at me because I'm gonna.
I think we have some different opinions.
Whoa, I will say, no. You have an
I-
abysmal bias.
First
on
of
this
all, I
kid.
have to say that overall, somehow, even with this stupid Stranger Things thing that didn't matter, and some fairly sloppy wrestling at times in the episode, I still enjoyed Raw. And I have to say, I enjoyed Raw more than I enjoyed the AEW Dynamite that I just watched. And it's not because I want that to be the case. I'm not trying to play one side
He's
or the other. I'm just
biased.
telling you, for me, sitting down for 2 hours and watching those two shows, if you ask me which one was better this week, I'd say I was more entertained by Raw than I was by AEW.
Well, some companies cannot pay their power bill. Okay.
All right.
Some other
we'll get to AEW, but Braun and
Let's
CM,
be real. Let's be real. We weren't missing much in that segment. Let's be real.
No, but I want an explanation of why. Is it because now lights out is literal? Anyways, yeah.
Braun and CM was
Yes.
the crowd
Sorry.
was into it. Oh my gosh, what just happened?
I've seen some videos like this.
I like this. This is like slash fiction. This
Smells like baby oil and friction. over
Rebecca
here.
Byron is writing kinky slash fiction now. Help me.
I think
You guys
it's
are a
been-
part of it. You guys are a part of this.
No, I see that you are in the sandwich right now.
Yeah.
I am not.
I think it smells like cinnamon. Like
I am not the meat in this
cinnamon rub.
sandwich. Daniel, you
Oh
don't
my
even
God.
know what you're saying when you say Jersey Shore. Cat.
Oh God. Oh wow.
You know
I think
that
there's
Byron's
less
day job,
STDs in
right?
this group.
That's Byron's shoot job is Jersey Shore.
You know, the Jersey Shorecast had a legit conversation. I think it made in an episode that they were debating the what is it? Truth ability of the existence of crabs, sexual STD crabs.
I think
They're like, I don't think it's real. It's like
I
you
think I
all
remember
probably
this.
had it 20 times already. No, I mean respectfully.
Respectfully, you have them. You have them in your beard. That's how
It
much.
was a
you
funny.
have.
It was a funny conversation. To be
That's
honest.
good
It was
though. I mean,
TV.
that's entertainment. That's what makes that show
Yeah.
good.
Mhm. I mean, so good.
All right, so this is a very important question, Byron. Are you watching Heated Rivalry while you're doing this? That
I've
is-
heard so many good things about it. I might watch it eventually. I've heard so many good things.
He's got to get through Brokeback Mountain first, Rebecca, and then he can.
I
Watch.
actually have not watched that yet. That's still on my
You have not watched Brokeback Mountain,
it's on my
Academy Award
Netflix
winning.
too.
Byron,
I know.
Tony. When you've lived it, you don't need to watch it. It's just that easy.
Yeah, but the hard part is
Justin and I spent 4 months on the mountain.
we did.
So
the hard
you know.
part that I want to believe is Byron is a cowboy. So I'm just
Yes, that is the unbelievable part about it. Very much so.
not the other part. The other part, you know.
I
The other
got
unbelievable part is that Byron could actually put up a tent.
I own 2 tents. First of all,
Okay.
Second of all,
owning a tent.
right,
and
white
building
boy.
a tent.
I own stuff does not mean you
I used to go
actually
camping
know
all
how
the
to
time.
do stuff.
Do you want me to make the obvious joke about pitching tents daily?
Wow. No. So
You don't?
CM
Okay, I
Punk.
won't.
Yes, let's go back to that. Yeah.
So I was reading a couple of takes on the thing, and from a wrestling semi-expert that I actually trust, talking about how the issues in that match were not on Braun Breaker. That CM Punk was actually the one who botched a few of those moves. He was the one
Yeah,
that
Punk
botched
botched the Rana.
that he botched the Rana because he didn't grab the caps the right way.
And his feet were well. First of all, Braun, the kid botched it because he should have visually recognized and just not done it. It's like he just ran into a wall because he didn't see a wall there. But Punk's legs were on the outside.
right. So it wasn't going to
So
work
it's a
like
no-go.
that.
No, he
Yeah.
was way too far out. Yeah.
So he rushed it
And
and
he
he was too far out, is what you're saying.
And he still
And-
had a
and-
moment to look down and see. You can see in the video, he goes like this. He's like, I'm gonna try to see if it still works.
because he thought he was Scott Steiner. Because if it's Scott Steiner doing it, you just throw yourself somewhere. Because if you don't, you got to deal with Scotty backstage afterwards, and you don't want that heat, brother.
But that's where you have experience versus talent, and you have a kid like Breaker who has talent and has a lot of people in his ear, but he doesn't have the experience to have judgment, split-second judgment in the ring to know what to do, what not to do. Hey, I can't do the thing I want to do. I really want to do it. I'll try it anyway. No, a veteran like Punk, because he's so old, he's done everything. He would see something that he can't do, and he would have 5 other things that are awesome that he could do instead, or he know how to fix it.
Okay.
And it's really like, to be honest, when that moment happened, I was mostly concerned about that kid. I was like, man, what do you want to break your head? I mean, it's either
the answer to this question. What's your favorite band? Survivor Gabon is Survivor, of course.
Survivor's a great band. I would say my favorite band right now is Together, spelled with 2 together.
Like the song by Limp Bizkit?
No.
And Together?
Yeah.
No. Tony, you're embarrassing
they use
yourself.
the
You don't know Together?
spelling.
They had a TV show and everything.
Oh my
My
God,
son
they had a
got me on
TV
this
show.
band,
You haven't watched Brokeback
Always,
Mountain,
that's
bro.
called the
Shut up.
TV. So here's my question for both of you guys, and I'll give you my answer. Was the CM Punk Braun Breaker main event on Raw still entertaining? Because I was still entertained when we were getting to the fall finishes, and I actually felt like the slop helped it. It gave it a little urgency and realism of like, these guys are just out here scrapping. Like, they're not, this isn't some well-oiled pretty machine. I'm not out here watching, Kevin Knight do his jetty things and Leon Slater and these guys with all this super smooth high. Like, I like just a knockdown drag out fight. I like it sometimes when a move misses or fails and things don't quite go right. Now, I don't want guys in there sloppy and hurting each other. Like, yeah, the Hurricane Rana, the Frankensteiner didn't go the way it should have gone. But the rest of the slop that was in there, I was fine with it. And I liked me, I hate false finishes. And normally we get to the end of those matches and I'm just like, oh, brother, please, what are we doing? Can we just go to a finish? But I liked all of it in this match. It all worked for me for some reason. I liked the very end. I thought it was a good finish. So am I crazy? Is this match bad?
Now, your mental health does not have to be involved in this conversation. No, I'm kidding. It really took me out of it. Okay, you guys know that I already have a problem with this amazing push they're giving this kid. But it just brings back to the point, like, yeah, at one point I think Punk tried to cover and trying to do things like matching the style, if you want to call it like that, so that it will look more consistent by not being consistent, which is kind of ridiculous. But I don't think is it good enough to talk about it 3 days later? Yes, but it's not for the right reasons. And if you compile that with the rest of the show that was not premium, because it's not a PLE, then it's not what I'm looking for to watch, especially at the start of the year. Is this what everything's gonna look like? I don't know. I don't think it was entertaining at the end. It just really, it was really not what I wanted to see. I'm like, I'm already not caring enough about Braun getting a shot. I was scared at one point that he might be champion. I was like, man, if they really give him like, Jesus Christ, what are we going to be doing for the next 6 months? Or at least WrestleMania. So no, I don't think it was entertaining per se. What is it? Highlight worthy? Probably, yeah. Does he give a lot of talk about? Yeah. And then we have Punk doing interviews, which, like, some people are phenomenal just by going to work. So
you're talking about the Jey Uso thing.
Yes.
Well, I want to get into that too. But Byron,
Yeah.
what do you think about the Braun CM match first before we talk about CM and Jey Uso?
I mean, I would have watched Raw if I heard of anything on the show worth checking out the highlights on the next day. There's nothing about Punk that now that I am interested in watching. I think his stuff with Drew was the last time that I cared about what he did in WWE, and that was really good stuff.
Okay,
Um,
that's fair.
Braun Breaker. I'm still waiting to see something that's worth my time with him. I think he's good and he has a pedigree. Like you could put him in the performance center and he'll do drills really well and he'll wrestle a practice match in a way that impresses people. But like, I want to see a meathead who, grits his teeth and says cliched promos at the best, or does a spear. Like what? Okay, does he do a kip up or he jumps up on the ropes? I see 50 people do that a day. So, and yeah, nothing about the Stranger Things tie-in made me interested in watching. I watched highlights from the Becky Maxine match. I saw that it was awful. I saw their finish was a hand on the ropes with the ref looking at the hand on the ropes.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I'm gonna agree. That was in the running for my drop of the week.
But
Yeah.
I will say ultimately I just have not, because of the holidays, I have not had a lot of time to watch a lot of wrestling, and I've been backed up on wrestling. So I kind of have other stuff that I've been trying to watch, at least match by match. So
Well, yeah, we'll get to
I
some
didn't
of
watch
that
any
too,
of
because
Raw.
I do want to talk about some New Japan. All right, the CM Punk thing with Jey Uso. So CM Punk is lauding Jey Uso for being
Phenomenal.
excellent, and citing certain things, but also telling fans to like what they like. I mean, Byron can probably explain it better than I can, but it
Yeah.
seemed odd. But I felt like I got the point of what CM was saying. And I almost agreed to the extent of, like, if you look at Hulk Hogan and compare him to Jey Uso, is Jey Uso a worse wrestler than Hulk Hogan?
I don't think Hulk Hogan would have liked Jey Uso personally, if you know what I mean.
I don't know, brother.
He would have. He just,
mean,
wouldn't
both-
want to have his wallet around him.
They're both not black guys who use the N-word, so maybe they would get along great.
No, I mean,
though when
Hooker-
it comes out of an Uso mouth, they totally get a pass. By the way, there's not an Uso that doesn't get a pass. They even Roman, all of them, they absolutely could walk through the hood, say whatever they want and be down. Anyway, but I don't know. It's like what. This goes back to me to the comment that CM Punk made on Ariel Helwani, where he said that he thought he was there in AEW to do some business. Like he didn't understand the concept of like not trying to draw and not trying to make characters big and not trying to make
That's
these
so
things
funny.
happen. And then, and so he's defending Jey Uso to the point of like, well, what do you want? Like the IWC basically says this guy sucks, but his t-shirts are selling. Like he's popping crowds. Like if you're in the room and Jay is having that moment, Jay's eating every time he comes out. So why are we saying that this guy is crap when he's one of the top draws? He's going back and forth with John Cena on merchandise levels. He's popping crowds bigger than anybody. Like, and of course the obvious answer to that is, well, see him because he gets in the ring and blows up and botches and doesn't really have the ring psychology and like, yeah, there's some things that are lacking, but also is Jey Uso not a top guy?
He's a top WWE superstar.
I mean, I feel like he's the perfect replacement for what Lashley was doing right after the pandemic, where Lashley was your guy headlining your house show. He was getting huge pops. The audience at home didn't necessarily care about him in storylines, but he was super valuable. Like you sent him out to an appearance and he looked like a major star. Every room he walked into, people knew who he was. They loved some Bobby Lashley. No one had any specific hate for him. His matches were whatever at the time. Like he wasn't putting a lot in, but he was also doing the WWE styles, a lot of power moves and slowing stuff down. And he was doing holds and things like that as part of his match and his gimmick, but it was working. You know, and this we're talking about the end of the Vince era. So Bobby was clearly a Vince guy, as we saw from what Triple H did with him after Vince finally left. But like Jey Uso to me is the new version of that. You can put him in a tag match and headline any house show or a regular TV event. You're always going to get that pop from him. You're always going to move some merchandise. The crowd's always just going to magically kind of be behind him. You know, and all that time standing next to Roman, I think worked. I think he is a little bit better than Jimmy, mic wise and charisma wise. So he's that guy. And I think that's what CM Punk's saying is like, bro, he's that guy. Why doesn't everybody just chill out and enjoy it?
But
that's not how I go ahead.
I think that the problem here is the hyperbole of calling him phenomenal. Like he could have just said, you know, he does his job and he sells merch, but you don't have to like try to upsell him when we know for a fact that, especially because then, you know, if you use the word phenomenal, you think, well, you know, AJ Styles. And it's not that because I want to correlate that, but he's a guy that does not perform in the ring as we will like him to. He doesn't.
One of the worst WrestleMania matches of all time.
He is. He's not a
what,
top
Jay versus Jimmy?
Yeah.
The battle of two stone dudes in a ring in front
it's
of
like they got too high beforehand. And they
I was going to wrestle this match before I got high.
La, da, 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 da.
I was going to WrestleMania before I got high.
Now I got pulled over. Oh, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
He hasn't
now
done
we're
a
getting
thing.
real. Come on, that man has a new baby on the way. Leave him alone.
Wait, which one was it, Jimmy or Jay that has all the DUIs?
Jimmy.
Oh, okay. Then I sorry, I cannot.
Jimmy liked them drinks. Yeah, because that's how we got main event Jey Uso. Jimmy had to go home because he had some drinks. And they had to elevate Jay unexpectedly into that little feud with Roman, that first feud with Roman.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, that's where main event Jay came from because he was like, no, man, I'm the main event.
Well, I understand. I understood your point that, you know, it's about selling merch. It's about pumping the crowd. But in our private chat, you mentioned Stone Cold Steve Austin last year, but I don't remember Stone Cold just like falling on his ass like that.
I mean, what do you call a Luthez press when you have two robotic knees? I mean, it's not. I'm not saying it was Steve.
Well, yeah, but that's the point. That guy was rebuilt. This guy, I think he good, right? Like, what?
Steve always put on tremendous matches. Even when he adapted his style, he adapted to what.
Yeah, that's not a fair comparison. That is not fair because this guy cannot do his moveset. Like, I understand wrestling is hard. Like, I'm not taking that for granted. What I'm saying is, like, you have a moveset that you execute every third day, and then you go in there and you don't do it. Why? I have no idea, but it's not happening.
So has this ruined the legacy of the Usos? Because 2 years ago, most people would have put them at least in the top 10 tag teams of all time, maybe even in the top 5. So now that he's split off on his own, the bloodline's done, and Jay's had this, you know, run where he went to the top, but obviously he didn't last up there, and now he's back in the tag team, and some people think he's sloppy and this, that, and the other thing. Like, has this tarnished what he did as a tag team wrestler before that? Because there was a few years where the Usos were crisp. Like, you put the Usos in there with like
they were great.
Any combination of Chad Gable tag team or any of that stuff, and they were great.
Yeah, okay. Usos really brought over the Young Bucks style tag team matches.
They did. WWE. Super kicks and all.
Yeah, and they were incredibly successful. There was a void of that on the show. Back to the Punk thing, though. I think your whole conversation isn't accurate to what his soundbite was.
We'll get to him.
Because I think the setup, Obafemi, it is Obafemi era. That guy's awesome. And they got to get the money out of him because he's a big dude. And isn't he a little bit older?
He
I
is
was
a
saying
little
this
bit
to-
older, Byron. Is that how you say a name? Byron.
He can say my name however he wants as long as he still
Oh
says it.
wow.
He doesn't
Okay.
even
But
talk
I
like
was
that.
saying the same thing about Keith Lee. Like you get that guy. Don't make him pay his dues.
You want to
Don't
put
make him
Obafemi
try
in
to
the
do this or
third
that.
photo in the middle?
But like those types of talents that are a little bit older, that are big guys,
How old is
make your
Obafemi?
money off of them as soon as you can, because they're not going to be able to deliver the same after 35, after 40, when the
Unless their
WWE
name
champs
is
are usually.
L.A. Knight.
He's
Yeah.
He doesn't do
27.
anything.
Oh,
He's
by
all stick,
27.
which is cool. But I'm talking about the guys who are like, near 6 feet tall, over 6 feet tall, over 300 pounds. There's a lot of wear and tear on their bodies just from existing, and they're doing super athletic stuff in the ring. You got to make your money with them right away. All right, Rebecca. But the CM Punk thing is he did the setup for that conversation. What makes a good wrestler? Is it what they do in the ring, or is it someone who can just make money? He set that up, but then he transitioned to talking about how instead of going there, he went to fans have too much hyperbole. And also they say, if I don't like something, you shouldn't like it either. He switched. He didn't talk about that conversation that you should have had about Jey Uso. He talked about how people are too harsh on him and people are just too hateful and want other people to hate him and all this other stuff, all these talking points that weren't the issue. But he did a politician move so he could answer a different question that would give him a self-righteous answer that would make Jey look good, make all the fans who don't like Jey as much as Punk says they should look bad. The real thing is there is a conversation about what makes a wrestler great. Is it someone you enjoy the most? Is it someone who makes the most money? Is it someone who can make a show the best,
But you
whether
don't think
not
CM's
they
got
shine?
a little bit of
There's
a point that the IWC is a little too harsh on a guy that is clearly over with the casual fans?
That's
that
not the
people are just
conversation.
enjoying.
That's
that was
not
not
the
the question.
conversation.
Was it? I mean, I don't think it
No,
was.
the question was like, is Jey so good or whatever? And that's an interesting discussion because
I think the
I watch
question
him on
was,
TV
why
and
do
I
you
think he's
guys keep saying that Jey Uso is shitty? That's the conversation he was having. Why does the IWC keep calling Jey Uso shitty? That's basically what CM Punk was addressing. Like,
Because of his wrestling in ring skills.
Well, I mean, we've
Um,
literally watched him
de-
not know how to wrestle with
devolving.
CM Punk.
well, and so to CM Punk, that's the answer. Some of us don't believe that Jey Uso is very good in the ring, regardless of how much of a pop he's getting right now.
I think there's a point to be made where if you're bringing a family to entertainment product that's supposed to be like a generational thing, where people bring their kids, and then those kids, when they grow up, to bring their kids and all that stuff. I think there's a point to be made about an act like Jey Uso, who your kids enjoy, and you buy them a Yeet shirt, which they can wear at school and not get in trouble or get called names, or you can buy them any sort of stuff, and they can enjoy it without having to worry. Oh, is he at a bloody match this week? Can we enjoy him this week or not? He's super safe for all that. I think there's a point to be made for that. There's also a point to be made if you're at home and you're not dancing with a bunch of kids in an arena for a $300 ticket. You're just wanting to watch some wrestling and you see this guy have a really shitty 3-minute match, then you have a different experience.
I mean, if I want to do this, I just go to like a DJ or something. Right?
Well, this is the funniest thing to me because
A wedding. Mexican weddings do this. We do this in Mexican weddings.
But that wasn't what Punk was talking about.
I love the idea that kids go to school now wearing these Yeet t-shirts and somebody says, well, what does that mean? And they don't even have the slang definition correct. Jey Uso has misused the term Yeet the entire time. It means to throw something. Ask any Gen Z kid and they actually know, unless they're a wrestling fan, in which case they have no fucking clue what the damn word even means.
See, he has altered pop culture in the worst possible way too.
He has completely altered pop culture. But I mean, look, back in the day, everybody had the suck it shirts, so I think Yeet's probably a step in the right direction.
Yeah. You know what? To the Obafemi point, because we might not get back to it, but
no, I want to go to NXT right now.
okay.
Anyway,
I am. Well, let me say this. I am more excited about Obafemi than I could ever be about Braun Breaker.
Yeah,
by a mile. Well, miles is very. Jay can be
Okay,
focused.
I see this point. Jay can be more focused on easy matches and sell shirts than the funny matches Mr. Iguana is focusing on. And you know what? I think that is what they're doing with Jay, to be quite honest. I think that where you're going to see Jay now is back in the tag division. They'll find a home for him where they can still pop the crowd and sell the shirts, but not have him in such a pivotal prime time position. He's basically not main event Jey Uso. He's
Mr.
almost
Iguana,
main event Jey Uso.
Mr. Iguana could have a better match by himself that Jey Uso could have with anybody.
And let's be real, Mr. Iguana's not going to mess up a Rana at any point.
No, he probably does that as
I've seen him save some ridiculously half-assed Ranas before by just doing a tuck up, quick victory roll or something else if it botches. All right, so NXT, speaking of belts and Obafemi, we get to the end of the NXT episode, and Obafemi, off camera, vacates the title.
We're told by narration.
We're told by narration. Somebody runs in as Ava is giving everyone a pep talk about how there's some cool spots for them to move into. We've already talked about everyone else who is leaving and moving up. And then randomly Obafemi just vacates. Like, it didn't make any sense. Like, I got it. I get what they were trying to do, but just let the guy be like, okay, I'm going to vacate and go and destroy people on SmackDown. Just let him go.
It's so funny. So funny that they had Ricky something beat him.
Right.
He had a little bit of a run, and then they had Oba get the belt back for like a month just so he could say never mind.
It was real. It's a really weird thing to me, and I don't entirely understand.
Still developmental. That's what it signals to, because we can just never mind, call that guy up,
right?
So it's. Yeah.
Well, the funnier side of that coin was Ricky Saint's in-ring speech, where it was so backward of him being like, yeah, well, because I'm going to stay here and run this place because I didn't want to go up there anyway. I mean, he sounded like Richard Pryor the whole time, like, and I'm not going up there because I'm down here freebasing. Like, it didn't make any sense. Like, Ricky.
How many do you know smoke crack and it doesn't blow up in their face?
I mean, just exactly. And that was the way that Ricky Saint sounded to me. It was like he had to go out there and make it make sense when it made absolutely no sense. Like, why is why are you guys putting poor Ricky in the situation where he has to defend the fact that he's not getting called up? It just makes him look like he's not getting called up.
It's not a good look for Ricky these days.
How are you, the top guy of all top guys, number one homie, chilling on the Cody wagon and killing it and crushing it in NXT and being a champ and everything, and you aren't the one that gets called up? Hashtag Triple H don't give a about you.
Is he killing it?
I thought he did great in the middle of the year. I thought
last year. Yeah.
I thought his run was great. I thought the heel turn worked. I thought like his babyface run when he came in worked really well. I thought he had a couple of great promos. This promo wasn't it.
Okay.
This was not the one. The crowd was kind of like, I don't know what you're saying here, Ricky. Like it almost,
I've seen some feedback on him that was
it just wasn't popping. And then to make things even stranger, back in our whole hot shotting of belts thing, we know that Thea Hail
Stranger Things
accidentally got the belt. And we don't know what the plans were, but clearly she was not originally factored into these North American title plans. And
so
maybe
funny.
Izzy Dame always was, but in a really weird turn of events, Blake Monroe gets herself disqualified from the match by coming out and throwing a beat down on Thea before the match. Ava kicks her out of the building and basically suspends her, and Thea, all beat up and battered, is now saying, but I still want a match anyway. So how about an open challenge where everybody runs to the ring and whoever gets there first gets the match? And Izzy has already had a match, and somehow she ends up in the ring and she ends up winning the belt. So this is a brand new person playing, a brand new player in this storyline out of nowhere. But also it just goes to show you that this women's division in NXT it's a Shark Tank. It's crazy. I mean, you got just so many women that are just sitting there ready and waiting. Like Izzy Dame, her matches were great. She was great. I'm like, now they put the title on her, and I wasn't like, oh, where did she come? I was like, no, that makes sense. That's fine. Again, like, and you got people like Ren Sinclair, Maddie Rinkowski just sitting right there. Like, she could be up next at any point in time. You could still pivot back to Kalani, and Saul's sitting around with no titles now. And it's just like there's so many women on that roster. Call up half of them, please. They're more entertaining than 60% of what's on Raw or SmackDown. Yeah. I would call up, and they are calling up quite a bit of these women. Like Jordan Grace just got called up too. I would call up like 3 or 4 more of them. There's room for them on the main roster, in my opinion. I would rather see some of their matches than a lot of the things that they're putting on TV right now.
Okay, but who's gonna write for them?
It ain't Road Dogg. I can tell you that right now.
Here's the thing they had. They brought in Jordan Grace, Julia, Steph Becker, and I think Delta. Yeah, they brought them all in at once. And
Legends up there now.
But they brought them in an NXT. I mean, they were like
right.
The big, like the old school black and gold were
right.
Were big signings of big names that were made somewhere else back when they used to do that. And then they brought up, and then Julia and Steph were super over in NXT because the aura, the vibe, whatever was still carrying over from where it was before, and they just got signed. It was super exciting. They got called up, and Steph got written for, and Julia didn't.
Realistically, they offered Steph a main roster slot from the beginning, and she said that she would prefer to try NXT for a little while. They had already told Julia that she needed to go to NXT and work on her English a bit. They were not ever planning to put her right up, but they planned on moving her up quickly. But
I'm saying
Julia went to SmackDown.
But they both were about equal setting or equal footing on. Sorry, English not my first language.
You cannot do that. But you cannot do well. Go ahead.
I can't.
No, it's fine.
Sorry. I'm like adopted. I'm trying to adopt.
Only mildly offensive.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll give you a pass this time because because now you people are in the same danger as we are as Latinos. So welcome to hell, motherfuckers.
Oh yeah, dude. Can I tell you how many times I've heard another Dusty Cracker say like, "We're gonna be a minority soon. That's gonna be so scary. Everyone's gonna treat us bad now." Anyway,
Byron
back to wrestling.
Things until I get a job over him from affirmative action, then we'll see how he's talking.
No, you get a job. No, you can have the job that has more responsibility, and then you hire me. And I just do the best I can.
We've done that before, so we can do that again.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
I'm down with that. But
we got paid about the same anyway, though, because there's still a disparagement there. But it's fine. I'm not.
Oh, that joke I sent you that one guy wrote that didn't get into the recent Critics' Choice Award was amazing.
That was great.
Anyways, but what I'm saying is, both Steph, Julia were about on equal footing. NXT being moved up as like special attractions coming up here. It's a hot new thing, and it seemed like they could only focus effectively on one of them. Now, Steph had a lot more going for the WWE presentation, but then don't bring up Julia if you can't make her a superstar. So that's what that's where I worry about your theory of bringing up all those women. Well, and then you're going to have a bunch of,
I do feel like somebody has to write for them. And let's be honest. I think that Triple H and Shawn Michaels both are good at writing for the women from NXT. I think that Triple H has been taking care of the girls that he's brought up on Raw. And I think over on SmackDown, Triple H isn't really hands-on with that department as much. It's part of why he put his boy Road Dogg in charge over there. And I feel like it's really Road Dogg is letting the girls down. I don't feel like there's been good women's storylines on SmackDown since before Mania.
That makes a lot of sense.
Every time a girl goes over there, like the Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte stuff didn't go right. That was a SmackDown storyline. The stuff that
should have been a home
Bayley
run.
was doing before compared to the stuff that Bayley's been doing this year. When Bayley was on SmackDown before, she was wallowing. And that was when all the criticisms were talking about how Bayley wasn't being used right. They moved her to Raw this year, and they've rehabilitated her a little bit. Like they did some decent stuff with her.
Tiffany
I
is
just don't
nobody
think
again.
like the Zelina Vega storyline and the way that Chelsea Green's first title run was handled over on SmackDown. Like Chelsea Green was killing, and they were giving her garbage, but it was 100% her making it work. It wasn't because they were giving her good storylines. They were giving her just trash, and she was killing it. I mean, they just haven't done a good job with the women on SmackDown, in my opinion. You know, and it's one of the reasons why I think
HBK coming up, taking over.
If HBK came up and took over SmackDown, I wouldn't be mad. And I feel like there are other people who could do great things with NXT. And I would, if you're asking me what I would do, I would put Jeremy Borash in charge of NXT and put Shawn Michaels in charge of SmackDown. I would maybe send somebody to help Conan with AAA that wasn't Jeremy Borash. Though he's been doing a great job with AAA.
Yeah, no. Right now, I sent you guys a form and nobody filled out. Thank you. About what I thought it was like the best of the year stuff. I actually, at the end of the day, I decided that what I liked the most, and this is crazy coming from me, really, is that I think AAA was my favorite. I'm going to sell promotion because even though they're owned by the same, I think AAA was probably the most surprising things because I watched a lot of that, and
it's good,
and it's like almost everything that I think everything that I watched, I was like, yeah, this is
and it makes sense.
A+, like all of it.
Yeah.
I mean, we got some promotions and companies that have a lot of money and shows, and then like Monday, they don't have a show like Raw. Like this past Raw, they don't have a show like that. And I don't know if because they're like, man, we gotta hit it out of the. I think this is the best investment for whatever it costs. It's doing great.
It's doing really well, and it's funny to me because I literally had a debate with Conan because this was always his vision. Like this is exactly what Conan wanted Lucha Underground to be. And that was part of why I took umbrage with him about it, because I was like, no, I don't want, I love AAA and I like my AAA to be my AAA, but I don't want that to be Lucha Underground. But he always wanted this slightly more Americanized style with better production, some decent storylines. He still wanted to play like romantic tensions like what they did with Lola Vice. He still wanted to have his pimpy moments and stuff like that, but he wanted to showcase, you know, the style of Lucha Libre that he likes that had some hardcore stuff, some of the Psycho Clown and Pagano type stuff, along with the real Lucha Libre things in there, but then put in charismatic characters like Penta, doing the stuff with Dom. Obviously, that's his godson. He's always wanted to do some of this stuff with Dom. Like literally, this is exactly what Conan told me 4 years ago during the pandemic was the vision that he had. And he kept saying that they had talked to Vince and that there was things that were going to happen. And half of it you believe and half of it you're kind of like, it's not that he's lying or anything. It's that it was like, I don't know, Conan, man, this is kind of a pipe dream. I don't know that there's really a business world where anything that you're saying could actually happen and make sense. It happened. It all happened. Like literally the vision that man said to me, you know, when we were talking about Azteca Underground and some of this MLW stuff and all these other things, like literally what he said that I was just like, I don't know, Carlos. I don't think that's going to be a thing, brother. I'm not trying to, you know, but it happened and it's good. It's as good as he always said it would be. I don't know if it's all him because I know Borash has had his hands on it and they're telling me that The Undertaker has got a lot to do with it now. I don't know how much I believe that. I believe that one of the good things is that they've probably minimized Dorian's input. I think he still has some say, but I don't think that he's certainly not calling the shots anymore.
I've heard The Undertaker's Spanish is great. No, I'm kidding.
Did you guys?
I like this as a question. Kudos to Undertaker.
Did you hear about the scandal about he had that podcast? It was one of those wrestler podcasts where you have a seasoned podcaster person bring the wrestler on and carry them so they can like have 3 months of a cool show until they run out of stories, like Regal and Dax and a bunch of other people did. Arn And so like they did that, but then WWE bought the podcast so Taker could keep doing it, and he replaced the podcast guy with his wife.
Yeah.
Once
Yeah,
again,
with her.
put in a position because that no one asked for or cares
Ask
about.
Mickey James how that feels, because she was great on the first season of LFG, and I haven't watched the show since because I'm kind of boycotting Michelle. Just because Mickey's a homegirl. We like Mickey.
Mickey's awesome.
And she would never complain, but I'm complaining on her behalf. Damn it, put Mickey back on LFG. She was great. Anyway, no, I agree with you, Tony. I think AAA has done a phenomenal job, with whatever they've been given. Like they have, and maybe that's the difference. They have a vision at AAA right now. They have
And by the way,
for what
talking
their product
about
is.
the rival company across the street, del otro lado de la calle. See what I did there? I'm gonna have to buy a membership and then I will have to share my password with you guys so that you can guys watch it too. So it's like, what are we doing?
Casey, who doesn't show up to work anymore over here, is the only one that's been watching, and he seems to say good things about it.
Can I tell you my what is it?
I know
subtle hidden tribute to Casey is that he's actually in the picture of my background, but he's below frame, so you can't see him.
He's always below frame. He likes it that way. Speaking of Lucha Libre,
Masked Mania's 2026 tour of Lucha Libre Mexicana kicks off with live events in Laredo, Texas, San Antonio, Texas, Loveland, Colorado, and Denver, Colorado. Hosted by the legend Vampiro. Featuring a double main event. It's Family Wars, the original La Parka. L.A. Park and his sons battle Pirata Morgan and his sons. And the Legends of Lucha Libre Championship is on the line. As champion Tini Blas Jr. with a Lucha. Defensed against El Rudo Americano Sam Adonis. Plus many more, including Hijo de Rey Mysterio, Legado Bella, and many luchador superstars in action. All tickets include a free pre-show meet and greet with select luchadors, and VIP packages are available. It all kicks off this January in Texas. Tickets are on sale now. Visit maskedmania.com for details.
woo! I like that little trailer.
I love Legado
awesome.
Bella. Oh my god! If I can, oh my god, it's so great.
Yes. Casey, we miss you, Casey. Where is Casey? This show
Where
always
is
begs the
Casey?
question. Where
Donde
is
está Casey?
Donde está Casey?
Let's stop this.
Anyway, back to the important things. Was it that promo loud? The promo's
Just
loud.
a little loud.
It was awesome.
We're a little quiet.
Yes.
If it's too loud, you're too old.
Byron, I want to talk about AEW, but first, I gotta ask you this question.
Yeah.
Which retirement was better? Tanahashi-san, Sting, or John Cena?
Okay, so
And why?
they're all a little bit different, but I would have to say Tanahashi's retirement was the best. Now, why?
I disagree,
Because
but go ahead.
they pay tribute to him in a way that's befitting. As far as like him being, the top of the promotion as a big superstar and him losing at the end, he was losing matches for like the last 5 years. He is very clearly not a main event world title person, and also very clearly can't walk unless he's literally within the four, ropes.
I think he got some nice cortisone shots for that match.
But afterwards, when he was doing the after press stuff, he didn't have to hide it anymore.
No.
I hope he gets.
But they put him on a hover round at the end for like an hour for him to just wave at people.
They should have given him the Andre cart afterwards. But I think his was the best because he got to do it. I loved the Sting one because it paid tribute to him and it made everyone happy and it made great memories, all that great stuff. It was feel good and it paid tribute to his legacy. but the Tanahashi one I feel was best because he got to do it in the promotion that he made, in the promotion that made him. New Japan wouldn't be around if he didn't strap them on his back and carry them what through the 90s or the knots, whatever it was. But like he salvaged that company, and he got to do it there, and then he got to have his match with the second best option. That meant something to him.
And what was the first best option? Shinsuke?
The first best would have been Shinsuke, but WWE
I love
did
the
everything
homage that he paid to Shinsuke in the middle of the match, man. That got me choked up. I'm not gonna lie.
That was great.
That
That was great.
Up.
And then
it was not the best looking Kinshasa ever, by the way. It was
no, none of it was that great. You could tell, like, one, like he's too much of a muscle guy to move like Shinsuke, and two, like he's also a little arthritic in his old age at this point. Like he can't do
he's 2 years younger than me, by the way, but yes.
Yeah, but he's done full contact sports for the last like 5 decades,
was
and
like,
he has
God, that guy's 2 years younger than you, and I was like, yeah, but also I don't have a bump card. Like that dude,
he's never taken a day off.
That dude has expired 15 bump cards. Like
he should have gotten new knees 20 years ago. He should have gotten stem cells 10 years ago.
Yeah,
in those things.
Was
like
stem
Ray,
cells 10 years ago a thing?
Like Ray, yeah, that's what Ray did in his time off.
Yeah. Ray is 6 months older than me.
Yeah, but not all of them. His legs, his knees, and then probably a lot of anyway. So he got to do that, and then he got the big tribute at the end, and basically it was on the biggest show. They cleared the show for him. They only had a few other matches. They had a big long ceremony afterwards. They brought in even Naito, who didn't work there anymore. They brought in everyone. They paid tribute. They let it soak in. They put him on a fucking pedestal thing and drove him around so the people in the cheap seats could see him.
Liked all of that? It was too much, brother. It was.
I think
too
whatever.
much.
You could fast forward if you don't want to watch. You can fast forward. But it was such a great tribute. Send off. He earned it.
Here was my issue.
He earned it.
Okay,
and at the end of the day,
go ahead.
That show did historical business for them. They sold out the Tokyo Dome for the first time. They had more viewers than ever. They treated him the right way, and they made the most money. Whereas, Sting, I thought was great. It was on a pay-per-view, but it wasn't. It was like a tribute show. It wasn't where he made his bread and butter. It wasn't WCW. It wasn't NWA or whatever, So really, like he had Ric Flair walking around as a favor, but like you're not going to get him in the ring with Ric Flair having one last match.
They also retired like at 105, so kind of.
I mean, but you could have had Ric Flair get in there and exchange some chops. I mean, Tanahashi did that,
with Shibata. That was cool.
Shibata, that was great.
Yeah,
but that was also part of my problem. So look at who was on that dais in the ring there.
Yeah.
16 AEW guys and like 2 New Japan guys.
Well, that's the thing. The people who should be.
All I could see in that moment was, oh my God, Tony Khan has destroyed this company.
Yeah.
You're looking at the future of New Japan wrestling, except they're all AEW wrestlers.
It was supposed. Shibata broke his brain, but it was supposed to be Shibata jumping into the top 4 first. Jay White, Ibushi was supposed to get a run, and like start his actual run as champ, and then he got hurt. Then he's also he's Ibushi, and he got into the arguments and stuff. Will Ospreay was supposed to be all the. This is the
And
that was a sad thing.
I still think the John Cena retirement was superior. It's the thing for the exact reason that everyone was mad. It's the Gunther of it all. Here you have this great moment, and I love that he had one of his classic opponents, but he's on loan from Tony Khan now in Okada. And Okada is getting in the twilight of his run now too. And I would rather have him win than Tanahashi go over, but at the same time, it didn't do anything for the future of New Japan wrestling. That retirement was just fan service. And there was great fan service. And the fan service part of it was clearly done better than the John Cena retirement, where John's just staring up at some video package that he doesn't even really like. And
You have
Cody's
Cody
just
and
looking at the
Punk.
ring all weird. I get that all the stuff you're talking about was better than that. But my problem is that ring was full of AEW guys that have been raided from New Japan, and they're not leaving any legacy. That title match right before, great match. But at the same time, that's the future of New Japan Wrestling? That's what you're giving me on the best rated pay-per-view you've ever had. What you're showing me of your future is that? Aaron Wolf was the only real standout thing from that whole pay-per-view where you could say, oh, maybe they're going somewhere. And that guy's green as fucking grass, bro. I mean, great. He's an Olympian. He's a Olympian judoka. Great. He's a great prospect. He's a blue chipper. Awesome. He popped a number 2. He had people behind him, but that's it. On that 5-hour card and that celebration of Tanahashi's life, what you got was a greatest hits DVD moment, and you did not build the future of your company. So we killed Bullet Club. I get that they're resetting. They're trying to sell me on all these guys, but they have nothing, and they're not showing me that they have something. What is the future of New Japan Wrestling after that?
I mean, I couldn't tell you what else was on that throwaway show that Cena retired on. He retired on a throwaway show that's not even on. It's
Saul
not even
Ruka
Raw
going
or
over on Bailey?
No, wait.
No, I
Yeah,
didn't.
no,
I
no.
don't watch any of that.
That was the previous matches were really good. Like,
But I didn't watch any of that, and also I didn't hear
except
about
for
any
the
of that
AJ
afterwards.
Styles thing that we
Even
talked
Joe
about.
Hendry's moment with the Miz, like
Yeah,
all of that
that's-
No,
stuff.
I don't. I didn't care about any of that.
Versus Cody Rhodes. People talked about that a ton.
I didn't care about that, but
I think
also
I
it
was
was on a
told on Ruka.
throwaway show. They
Oh,
didn't
Daniel's
wrestle
right.
pay-per-view.
Andrade is in fact the future of both
Both.
New Japan and AEW.
Andrade is funny because he's debuted twice now in AEW recently.
That's all he does is debut.
And
Hold
they-
on. No, he's debuted twice in AEW recently with another Don Callis family member debuting at the same.
We kind
At
of
the
lost
exact same time.
did they do the same, like the same debut, like
Him, and then
they did just turn off
Him,
the lights
so-
and bring him back in, and it was the same thing as like you can run them like one top of the other.
They did this, but it was at the end of a match, and he came in and did something. But
Yeah.
like, it's the same thing where like the first time I think it was Clone came in and joined the Don Callis family, and it was a whole thing, and he became an official wrestler there. Showed up for the first time, and then now Jake something with a different name showed up and joined the family,
Ooh.
and also Andrade showed up and was part of it.
Exactly.
It's like that's just bad spacing out of storytelling, character introduction, whatever. But
Also, they are introducing so many people on that. It's just like half of the roster is on that on the.
Well, and
Don
now's as
Callis.
good a time to talk about it as any. Let's talk about freaking Dynamite. I finally calmed down enough,
Oh.
I think, to actually talk about it because it was just one more thing. The Andrade debut was another, like, what are we doing here, guys? Like, this is just another. I don't like make it make sense. Why are we back to the point like Tony? The NFL season's over. Like, can we write wrestling again? Like, what's going on here? There were so many things on that show. I'll tell you what made sense to me, believe it or not. John Cruz, bravo.
that was good.
The segment with John Cruz and MJF and Bandito was great. Love that segment.
Can I
makes
say
sense.
something about Bandito?
Story went forward. We knew it was coming. We predicted
Yeah.
the exact story before they even started the diamond ring thing. Like we said exactly where this was going to go. MJF was going to get the belt. He was going to want his ring, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, as contrived as it may be, it makes sense. At least it makes sense to a wrestling fan.
No,
And
I like it.
sometimes you don't have to like impress me with some brand new crazy thing. Just make it make sense. Give me a reason why I actually want to see Bandito and MJF fight.
No, but they freshened it up and made it unique by having John Cruz be that intermediary. Because
And
normally
let's
it's just
be honest.
MJF running his mouth.
We love Alex Abrahantes, but at the same time, he would not have bumped like John Cruz did tonight.
Oh, that was crazy. Yeah, that was crazy.
John's bumps were great. Like when he laid out flat from the ring punch, like he I mean, he did the full splat, no chin tuck, anything. That was good stuff.
The only thing was that it took an incredible amount of time for MJF to take he was holding on to those like, oh my God, what is this guy at?
I wanted to, yeah, that's
Sorry,
I
Rebecca's
texted-
cracking me up. Yeah, but the Jags made the postseason, so he can't concentrate on
Right,
AEW
that's
and
right.
Trevor
They are
Lawrence's
in the
hair.
postseason. Yeah, this is.
I sent Justin a text during that segment, basically saying the 21 plex is has the dumbest setup of a move. It's so stupid.
So bad.
But I think they should have at least a knee on the ground so that it looks like this, and then you get up.
Well,
And then-
I
That's
said
kind of what Byron was saying to me. I
like
think
you
in that
set it,
text,
you
yeah.
set it up like a 619. Get
And
them
then
on
you
the middle
stand up.
rope, and then you time it so they climb up to their whatever while you and then. But the way that they did
Especially
it,
if you're going to have two of them back to back, both guys sitting there prone, holding the ropes and
you
waiting. It's
never
like,
stand
took
like that.
forever.
It's worse than it's. I think he covers it up better in a match. He makes it work better in a match, but it's a worse setup.
I think the
than
setup
Adam
should
Cole's.
come off of a gut kick or something too, where it's making the guy look like he's sucking wind, because then it makes sense to be bent over like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Just
By the
do
way,
a different move. It's not that great of a move.
so somebody sent me the screenshot for the Don Callis family members,
Oh my god!
and then you have Andrade joining twice.
He's been there too twice. That's good
funny.
stuff. Yeah, I just like the main event. Was a match.
Well,
like it,
before we get to the main event, the women's segment with that really now am I supposed to feel sorry for
That was a double
Mercedes?
turn.
Yeah, right. Is that what happened? Do we got a double turn now? Mercedes.
They
is the
went Mean
face.
Girls.
No,
Because
okay.
here's
so
the thing. Here's
so-
the face heel dynamic. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
the whole women's division, it's Mean Girls. That is then you
That was
had
NXT's women's division for a while too.
then you have a promo with Tekla and
the Mean Girls.
Julia. And yes, and it's also the same thing. So everybody's just Mean Girls all the time. Like
This
I don't know.
is my problem. This was the problem I was having with SmackDown. This is the problem I had leading into WrestleMania with the three-way with Io and Rhea and whatever. It was like, for some reason, male wrestling writers think that a female storyline is to make them catty bitches
Yeah.
that don't like each other. It's like,
Yeah.
if you remember the stuff that they were making Rhea do back then, it was like, what are we doing? And now AEW is running into this whole thing. And I'll tell you right now, the reason why I was kind of slow rolling talking about this is because my drop of the week is Willow as TBS champion. I like Willow Nightingale. I think she's great. I think she is an ambassador for the company. I think she's exactly what AEW needs. I do not think that she needs to be a double champion with those two belts right now.
Yeah.
I think it completely defeats the purpose of trying to broaden the spectrum in the women's division. That belt needed to go to somebody who needs a belt. Willow doesn't need it. It doesn't make sense unless she drops it very quickly. Tekla would be great as the TBS champion.
Yeah.
Somebody else needs to have that belt. But this also, I think, illustrates part of the problem that Tony Khan has. All of these girls are heels. Megan Bain, you know, the Tekla and the Toxic Spider Girls, whatever the hell they are. Like, is Jamie Hayter a face or a heel? We don't really know.
Both healed it out.
We even know less now that she had a match with the champion,
right?
Statlander. So
This whole tweener thing, this whole not having you know, white meat baby faces, even the weirdness with Stat and Willow having been with Stokely for a while and then not, and then they're like kind of in and out of the darkness and nobody knew if they were heels or faces. And it's like, why was Willow ever heel? Come on. Like, let's just leave her the dancing, having fun, happy, smiling baby face for all time.
Yeah.
Like, let's not ever change it.
wait, so and then you had the lights go out, and they even made it even worse because now they did look. I think that also the atmosphere of that segment also threw me off completely, and
That was a botch.
because I don't know.
Well,
I
all the
think
lighting was botched. I don't know what was going on. Like, first
The
we get
lights
into this segment, and yeah, the lights go off for the party thing or whatever, but then there's no spotlights, and then all of a sudden, halfway through, because clearly somebody in production was getting yelled at, all of a sudden we have a spotlight, and then that made a little bit of sense. But then we did that also in the lights out match later, before we turned on the house lights, Like, can you imagine the Britt Baker Thunder Rosa lights out match with the lights actually out?
no.
It would have ruined the best match of that entire year.
That's crazy. I don't.
I have a
understand what was
question.
going-
Why in that celebration did they bring Mercedes out in the first place? You never do that. How
That's
did
what
that
I'm saying.
make sense?
What are we supposed to feel? This is the question. This is the actual question right now. Are we supposed to feel sorry for Mercedes this quickly?
Yeah.
No.
Well, that's like the heel
You're
face
supposed to be
dynamic.
laughing at her. That was the way they wrote it. They wrote it
Yeah,
so
but
that
that's
it's like
dumb and that's
Willow's
mean.
trying to do something nice, but then you're still laughing at the heel who's gotten her comeuppance, but it didn't work.
That's like
didn't
ruthless
work
aggression
at all.
WWE style, where he face Jericho is just calling Stephanie a slut and a whore the whole time. You're like, oh, that's so great. He's a good guy, and it's like, and you made a comment about how like the faces do bad stuff like burn down houses, and I think that was a part of Hangman being a bad guy and fighting demons, and that was very clearly
Was
a
it?
bad thing.
It's
That was
part
a
of the
bad
reason why
thing.
he's over now, and this is part of my issue with
Yeah.
AEWs because
But that was
our
part.
baby
He's
faces are arsonists, attempted
But no.
murderers, apparently people who smash cakes in people's faces who are upset about losing things that were important to them.
him
Like,
and Swerve.
These are our baby
but-
faces, guys.
But here's the thing. Him and Swerve had their thing, and they had personal issues that drove them over the edge. And they were bad guys doing those things. And they had a complex arc.
And they
through
should
that,
still be bad guys.
which might be too much for wrestling fans to like follow. But what has brought them back is that now they're back to doing it. But what brought them back when Hangman won is that they both confronted and accepted that they had crossed the line. And in their most, tough macho guy way, they apologized to each other without specifically saying, I'm sorry, And
Okay,
so,
but I get what
but
you're
they were
saying, but,
motivated.
like,
This is not a motivated thing. This is where what the heel and face dynamic, what makes you like and not like someone like MJF or whatever is the word humble.
I
And
get it, but
when
bro,
they-
but it's like you're talking about realistic emotions and complex character arcs and whatnot. But in the real world, yes, maybe somebody got pushed too far and burned somebody else's house down. But when they do it publicly and you admit to it, it's called arson, and you still go to jail for 16 years. Hangman, even if he redeems himself in prison, is still a fucking convict after
you
that.
can like him
You
when he
can't tell me it's
turns to Jesus.
realistic,
People do
complicated
that.
storytelling when in the real world, that guy goes to jail. That guy
There's
is an
no
awful person
consequences.
who burned
so many
someone else's
things.
house and must pay for it by serving their time in a penitentiary. Like,
It's
that is
wrestling.
not just a mild, complex storytelling thing. The other guy did a home invasion. A home
Yeah.
invasion.
Yeah, it's wrestling, dude.
And
That's the
admitted
first
to it.
suspension. That's the
And admitted to it.
But
That's
then
the
that
first-
just makes, but that's fine. It's like,
That's the first
it's-
suspension of disbelief. Second one is running the ropes. But it's like you had a show back in the day where you had a bunch of stereotypical Asian dudes choppy pee off with a sword.
yeah, Vince writes comedy.
Nothing ever
man.
happened. Nothing happened of that. You have pregnant woman getting pushed around and having miscarriages in the ring. You had attempted murder all the time. You had
Right, but those guys were bad guys. The bad guys were the ones that attempted the murder.
yeah.
And Steve
the
Austin,
stuff-
don't get me wrong, Steve Austin was a tweener. Steve Austin did tons and tons of heel stuff, but he
Oh,
always looked at the
Pillman
crowd and
gun
said,
angle.
if you want me to attempt a murder on this bitch, give me a hell yeah. Thusly making him the babyface because at least he's getting you on his side. Was Hangman saying, hey, should I burn down a dude's house just for you guys? I'm doing it for you because he's so bad that I have to burn down his house. He didn't do that.
Also
He was a
making
bad guy then.
everybody
He was
in
a
the
bad guy
crowd,
then.
making everybody in the crowd an accessory to whatever he was about to do.
Well, but that's what Stone
he
Cold
was-
did at least. At least he was like, I got 18,000 some bitches in this place with me while I spray this milk truck at you, Kurt Angle, whatever the hell it is.
But Hangman was a bad guy then. But anyways, what I'm saying is with this one segment is that what they did was they had Willow, who was the ultimate like Sting babyface, like pure white meat babyface, come out, and when they won the tag titles, like it became obvious that she is kind of the next one that has it after Tony. She should be the world champ. And now she won the title and she comes out and she's not humble anymore. And then she brings out the loser to rub it in her face. And guess what? The loser is crying. The loser is humble.
That makes no.
So now Mercedes,
This is
and
my
that's
whole
the thing.
point, because not only
So
does
it's a double
AEW
turn.
have trouble writing women a lot of times, they also have trouble writing baby faces.
Yeah, it's a double turn now. And the thing is, when you have someone like Mercedes or MJF, they become humble when they turn babyface and they have a run. And when they turn heel, they say, just kidding, I'm not humble anymore or at all. And you hate them.
Right. Well, look, the thing I do like is I still like Swerve and Hangman looking at each other with a little cross, like,
that was
hey,
pretty cool.
man,
Yeah.
like, we're
I
both
wish the
baby
show
faces
would-
now, and we kind of have to work together because these other dudes are more rotten, but then you have nonsensical things like Jungle Jack Perry and the Young Bucks just magically all friends again. It's like, are they friends? They're not friends. These guys are faces. These guys are heel. Now that they're all faces again, they're friends again.
No, they shook hands like a few weeks ago, I think.
I know, but exactly. They just shook hands.
I don't know why they were mad in the first place.
Correct. Also stupid.
By the way, and I know this is one of those things that we always get on. Somebody's got to tell them that going to the camera below the ring on the on the right side is not a Rogers Deaking fucking move. Like that's not. They cut off to that camera so much.
Yeah.
And
They really
then
do.
you have one white shot, I think was the Bandito match, when they did like I think I forgot who it was, to be honest. But they did this thing when they were doing a cutter, and instead of having us look at them straight in the air like parallel, like just perfect, like to the ground. No, they cut to the camera on the side, so you only see like the perspective from one of the.
It doesn't make any sense. Hey, look, Rebecca, here's the thing about time travel. Lucha Underground made it make a little bit of sense, and then they just didn't explain the rest of it and kept telling us they'd get to it.
Wait,
Season
they
6.
time travel in I gotta watch
Aerostar
the
was a
show.
time traveler in Lucha
Oh.
Underground, but also, Captain Hotness was
From
like
the
700
past
years old
or
because of
from
a
the
magic amulet ring or something,
From the past.
was
or
a
from
good
the
100 though.
future?
Yeah. There was all sorts of weird stuff. But also that was a science fiction show. It was
Right.
designed to be science fiction, fantasy, and wrestling.
I thought of it as fantasy. What I've seen, like it just looks like because the tribes and all this stuff.
Yeah, there's mystical powers. Like
Yeah.
Wade Barrett was a super god.
But again, was this a time traveler from the past or from the future? They didn't explain.
Aerostar is just a time traveler.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is not specified whether he came from the past or
It was
whether
like Booster Gold in this.
He has been in the past.
he's been in the past, but he didn't necessarily come from. In fact, he probably came from the future. Would be my assumption of the way they
Well,
kind of
it-
He
it's
think.
just
has
like-
a glowing chest.
And
I
he
forgot.
knows certain things.
I forgot which one is in. It's some sort of cave kid in DC Comics that he was abducted from the past and went
Superman.
into the future. No, what?
Oh.
Not all comics are DC. Superman are DC Comics. I forgot. I'll let you know who it is, but he was abducted from the past and lived in the future or the present, whatever.
Yeah.
Also, why did they had Willow laugh like she was, I don't know, Cruella de Vil or like Ursula or something at the
I
end
don't
of the
know.
segment?
I'd be very curious to find out who wrote that segment, because I can tell you who I don't think wrote that segment. I don't think RJ wrote that segment.
No.
And I have a sneaking suspicion it was probably Jen. And It felt very Gen WWE-ish.
Yeah.
But also, I think Vince would have thought it through a little more and made a little more comedy out of the cake smashing kind of moment. Like, Chelsea just did that whole bit, and it's still a meme, and it was great.
Yeah, I will say AEW segments like that, especially when they have a bunch of people in the ring, moving parts, and a bunch of beats to hit in blocking, they're very sloppy, and it's not smooth with delivering the moments they want to deliver in ring.
They don't do enough of it,
and camera.
They don't script those as much. Like they'll tell a guy like MJF or whoever where they're trying to get to, and they let those talent basically kind of craft most of the segment themselves, and they only let the ones that they trust with microphones really do it. So it's cool that they trust Mercedes and Willow to go out there and do some stuff like that, and it's probably good for Stat to be sitting there. But also, I didn't think Willow's promo was that good either. I felt like her promo was lacking a little bit, and it needed some writing.
Why is Statlander behind the TBS champion? Like, why is she just standing there? Like,
because she can't talk, and she can't talk because no one has helped her talk. I think Statlander is a very compelling, charismatic person, and they, being AEW, has not harnessed it properly. I do not think the problem is Chris Statlander. I think the problem is they have not refined Chris Statlander as a talent as much as they should have. And a lot of my issue with AEW is they expect talent to do a lot of that stuff on their own, but then they don't give them the vehicle to do that, and they don't necessarily trust them to do that because they haven't seen them do that, because they're expecting them to do it on their own. Whereas in WWE, people are forced to do that. They are forced to learn those skills. They are forced to have mic time and practice promos and do stuff in the back until they can go out and do it. And when they go out and do it, they give it to them in small pieces. And if they flounder or fail, they are forced to come back the next week and do it better. And they're challenged to do it better. Whereas at AEW, you just get shelved for a little while. Like, or you get put on the list of like, they're not very good on the mic, or we'll put Willow out there to talk for Stat the next time, or whatever it is. That's not the way to do it. No, make Stat do it. But give her some coaching. Give her somebody to write her some stuff, to work with her a little bit. One of the other veteran, talent is fine, or one of the producers. Like, what do we have all these people for? What are all these people doing in the back? It can't just be Sanjay writing freaking backstage pre-tapes. Like, somebody has to be able to write for these people and help them hone the characters in. That's part of wrestling. They do it at TNA. They do it at MLW. They do it at WWE. They do it at TNA. They do it at Evolve. They do it at AAA. They even do it at CMLL. Why are we not doing this at AEW? Why are we not refining these talents?
Well, because they don't have anyone as an executive in charge of that. They hired, last I heard, they hired William Regal to do that. And then when he showed up, they threw him on camera instead.
And he still did do that for a few people. And it was just, you had to come to him and ask him to do it, and he would do it. Yeah. And there's people like that at AEW right now that'll do it. Like, you go talk to Dax, he'll help you out. He'll help you figure out some ring psychology on your match layout. And he's not a producer, but he'll help you out. Yeah. He'll help you write some stuff. Like if you're trying to cut a promo, there's lots of people that have gone to him, or even Bryan Danielson, or a lot of those guys. But you have to go to them. They're not assigned to you. And then after you do go to them and you get some stuff ironed out and you make it better, then you got to somehow convince whoever is running the office that day, whether it's QT or CD or Tony himself, or whoever the hell's in the back that day, or Koshe or whoever, you got to convince somebody that you've learned something and that you can put it on TV. But then does it fit into Tony's storyline? Like, there needs to be more of a pyramid or something going on. I just don't get it. And I love Statlander. I think she's a great champion. I want to see more. I want this to work. It's not working. And I don't think Willow as the TBS champion works either. Like, if Willow and Harley are going to be those tag champions, great. Let's make that tag division work. Yeah. Let's get them in the mix with Tekla's group. Let's get them in the mix with a couple other girls. Let's bring Hyann and Maya World in there, or whatever credible tag teams we have. Let's make a tag team division. Let's let them focus on that. Let's let Willow be the voice of it and Harley be the heart of it. That is perfect to me. Why the hell does she have the TBS champion? We've got all these other people that need, like Megan Bain needs that. Somebody else needs that belt.
It doesn't make sense. I was surprised to see that match. I was even more surprised to see her win. And really, like, when she impressed and showed out when they won the tag titles, my impression was Willow should be world champ. I didn't think she should be the one to beat Mercedes.
Right.
Because
so once again, we have the disparagement where the TBS title now almost looks more important because you have a
that's what I was saying.
But then there's also
they have stat in the back.
There should be but they should establish, like you're saying, different things. And now it's like they don't want to have to book the two sets of titles in different segments. We're just going to do either a TBS or a tag title segment on the show, and that's a little bit, I don't want to call it lazy, but it's something. It's not good.
It is lazy. And look, they should realistically, I hate to say it, but they should do with Stat exactly what they did during Thunder Rosa's run. Put her on Collision. Basically, back then it was Thunder was doing all the Battle of the Belts and all that shit. Put Stat on Collision. Let her be the champ there. Let the people go to her. Then she can still do the pay-per-views or whatever. Let the tag champs be on Dynamite because it's the newer belt that you're trying to establish. Establish the tag division there. And then the TBS champion should be somebody up and coming, and they should be the first match of the night. They shouldn't be in the big picture yet. That
should
belt
be the women's work rate belt.
Yeah, it should absolutely be the women's work rate belt. Like where you like, we've got Deonna Purrazzo and Red Velvet over on the other, show doing all this stuff, and like they're showing all the work rate stuff, but yet they're not focused on this show. Like, let's make it. We have all these women. We have the Serena Deebs. We have the Trisha Doors. Like all these women there that are excellent.
Yeah.
Why are we not using them? And why are we just doubling up on Willow Nightingale right now? She's already in a pivotal spot. The belt is supposed to be a prop to advance the story, advance what's going on. So that was like Willow being the TBS champion was absolutely my drop of the week because I think it's very short-sighted.
And there was no promotion.
Prove me wrong, but
no promotion. They had a show and they're like, "Oh, next week there's going to be this match." There was no promote. There was no build. There was no. They should have treated it like a pay-per-view and had like a 3-week lead-in where they tease.
It makes sense that it was Willow because of the history with Mercedes and where she had to accidentally drop that title to Willow and all that stuff. And I love that. That's part of what made Willow. Like, we can't deny that. And I know her and Mercedes are great together. So I get why it was her, but then why have her be the tag champion?
Exactly. And that's the thing. I think
both.
When they became tag champions, I think Tony definitely noticed, but with the whole reaction and performance, you think, oh, Willow should be singles champ. So you go, okay, well, we kind of missed a little bit here, but you don't just hot shot it the next week and do both. You just creatively write a path
I don't think
for this story to end, and then the next one can begin.
I don't think them dropping the tag titles is smart either because of the Harley Cameron of it all. Harley Cameron is a perfect ambassador for a new belt in that company right now. And she can get out there and she can do public media and she can help make the company great. Like MJF as a champ and Harley and Willow as female tag champs, those three people alone, put them out on the PR tour of a lifetime. Just let your belts be on them and show those people off. You got your heel champ and you got your two babyface girl champs. That is a press tour and a half right there. That's all you need. Everything else,
are they still doing that though?
Building other talent to get to that same point that those three people are already at. You know. All right, what other drops do you guys got? Because that was my drop this week. I was like, Byron's looking down his list like.
No, I don't know. I just every time I see Phil on TV or talking about something, I just think, shut up, dude.
Pepsi Phil's just not your jam, huh?
He's not Pepsi Phil anymore. He's bootlicker Phil now. He's corporate slut Phil now.
Did going to Saudi make you that mad at Phil?
No, it's not that. It's just the whole thing. It's just the whole thing of like, this is what he used to stand for and blah, 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 and all this stuff. And it's like, you know what? No, you always wanted to be just like Triple H and have a good spot and get a main event. And, and you should have you always wanted to be in WWE where they cater to you and give you the respect the way you want it and whatever. And it's just, he always wanted this, but he pretended he didn't. And he went to AEW disingenuously and like he couldn't catch up with the new times with how new things are. He's like, we're trying to make money. No, dude, you're trying to put on a show that gets enough momentum so you get a big money TV deal. That's how you make money now. It's not, you can make money selling shirts or whatever, but your company is small and new. Your merch sucks. You're trying to get the TV deal. You're not trying to like sell a bunch of seats for a show. That's cool, but that's a different world, and he couldn't keep up.
Thunder says you're from outer space, brother.
I've heard that.
Which also means we got to get Tony's drop because pretty soon Thunder's going to want to sing karaoke and she's going to drag Tony away.
Oh, that's why she's here.
Yeah. I don't know, guys. I've gone through some.
What song are you singing?
I forgot the name of Ava. What's his name? The Winner Takes It All. But I think we're gonna have to do it tomorrow because it's the hella late right now.
Oh, dude, you got Thunder mad. She loves her karaoke, bro.
No, I think we all agreed it was very late. No, I think that I think Braun Breaker is my drop. I'm sorry, guys. I don't want to bring it back. It's just like I don't. Oh man, it's just it brings me down. And then you defend him so much that I'm like, am I wrong? And
you don't have to agree. I'm not trying to
no, I get it.
Yums or vice versa or yum your yucks. Like if you don't like the guy, you don't like the guy. If he takes you out, takes you out of
it. Tony, I get it. You second guessing when someone else says they like him because he's so bland without anything of noticeability or notable about him, where you don't really actually have an impression of him. Because what is he? I don't know. So someone else goes, I like this guy. And you're like, wait, was I thinking of someone else? Like,
Thunder says you talked about him for 30 minutes, bro.
Yeah.
But probably not
I have to complain about it. My point is that what I get pointed out all the time. The thing is that I get pointed out, and it's okay. These are every industry has their nepo babies and all this stuff, and that's okay. You're supposed to pass down your knowledge and your genetics, and maybe the next generation is a lot better. But I get
it totally works for Tony.
Every time, oh Jesus, every time I somebody wants to have a conversation to me about this guy, is like, well, he's from great stock. What is this eugenics? What I don't understand why that should be. I want him to succeed, of course, but maybe especially after this match, NXT, LFG, you can build yourself from the ground up again. And I'm not being mean. I'm just being honest. Like I don't see you like you see all these people working really hard trying to get there, and then you just give a pass to this guy because of.
I don't think that. Like I saw him work his way up at NXT, and I wasn't even that big a fan of him when he was in NXT. But something about him on the main roster, I felt it was exciting. I felt like he was in the right place. I liked what he added to Raw.
Because he has put in the right place.
Yeah,
it's not because he worked hard. No, man.
But that's part. This is exactly the complaint.
He worked hard, but they all work hard.
Though, is that AEW doesn't put people in the right place, and WWE does. They put Steph Fakir in the right place. They gave her the right opportunities. They're doing the same thing with Braun Breaker.
Oh, wait. Are we comparing that journey, the work journey of Stephanie Fakir?
Not at all.
Okay. I'm just that's exactly my point. Because I think she was champion everywhere the fuck else. And then she got to WWE. She even went to the other company, didn't stay?
That's the thing. That's a point I want to make. WWE wasn't going to fucking look at her twice or even once after that tryout until she was going to sign a deal with AEW. She was a big CML star. They didn't give a shit.
Else. She was
but now she had one good match in AEW and New Japan or whatever. No, but when she was going to be in AEW, they were going to sign her. WWE stepped in
like the next week.
Yes.
But they weren't going to until then. She's like one of the best talents in the world.
Will you say that she put herself in the right place to get signed to the company she wanted to be at? That's exactly what happened. She got there to the point where so I'm in AEW. Oh, I've never been noticed before, but I got here. So now I'm getting looked at, and now I'm going to be champion within a year.
She was very fortunate with the timing, but also she did the thing that I always say, which is be prepared for luck. She got very lucky, but at the same time, she was prepared. That same week, she did the New Japan Strong show up in Chicago. She had a phenomenal match. She had 2 phenomenal matches in AEW, and literally that's all it took. That's all it took. 3 matches.
I want to see
the woman had wrestled 7,000 matches in her career that did not matter. She had 3 matches in the course of a week and a half that mattered, and now she is a world champion in the biggest company in wrestling.
Okay, and this is the thing with Braun Breaker. I want to see that. It's not like I sit here and I want to hate the guy. That's not how I watch wrestling. I don't hate watch anything. If I don't want to watch it, I don't watch it, or I'll just put it on while something happens and I'll go and just whatever, right? So
Tony's already chastised me for not wearing hats on the show.
Yeah.
Oh, I have the hat, but it doesn't fit my
It's fine.
head.
Your hair is
It
amazing
squeezes it
today,
too
so you're
much.
good.
I had the nice fro going, but then Thunder's all, oh, where's your hat? Ugh.
It is your gimmick.
You think that's a fro? I'm not gonna get into that.
We'll let Rebecca
point
decide,
is,
hat or no hat, Rebecca.
I want to get.
He's allowed to say fro for any hair he has.
I only have
Right?
one fro.
Are we gonna let him say that?
Just one
Right.
fro.
Okay. Are we gonna let Byron say? Okay. Anyways, I want next time that I watch a match by Braun Breaker, I want it to be consistent. It doesn't have to be spectacular. I just want it to be consistent so I can cheer for this kid that you guys love so much. That's all
So
I'm
next
saying.
week on Raw, I give you Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker.
I'm out of here. Get the fuck out.
Oh, see, this is why we love Rebecca. She says I look like a snack either way.
Hey, Rebecca, take a cold shower. We're trying to talk wrestling
Leave that
here.
girl alone. You leave
calling
my
people's
bed
throats
alone,
and-
Byron.
Making people take showers. What's going on? They think you're a little authoritarian. Liking that, huh?
What?
Just kidding, man.
All right, so pops of the week. My pop of the week this week actually is. It was almost Aaron Wolf. I really enjoyed the Aaron Wolf thing. I was cool with that. It was almost the John Cruz being Alex Abrahantes. Byron's hair looks better than mine. Oh my God. Did that actually just happen? Sorry, we're all putting that on the screen at the same time.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
This is a first on this show.
I don't know if it's a first.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's the only time somebody's actually complimented you over me. Like, you may have gotten a compliment once.
I get compliments all around. I'm a compliment.
No, I get lots of compliments. It's just they don't want to say in front of you because they don't want to make you sad. They know you're sensitive.
Not very sensitive. Don't really care. Anyway, so yeah, Aaron Wolf was a runner-up, and I really liked John Cruz in the taking over for Alex Abrahantes. And oh my God, shout out to Alex Abrahantes. Shout out to Mercedes.
Yeah.
What was the other big release? There was one other one.
Matt Taven.
Oh, this kid.
Matt Taven.
Oh, Taven. Oh, I
Taven.
liked Taven and Bennett. I like the stuff they did with Roddy, especially the second half of that stuff where Roddy was yelling, and they were really good. And poor Mike Bennett, jeez, he's so talented. The guy never catches a break. And Taven, shout out to Taven, our passing Puerto Rican friend. He's excellent, and I hope he lands somewhere good. I mean, I feel like he's just going to go back to TNA. do something over there. We'll see. I don't know.
They delivered every single time.
Yeah, like never missed a beat, and like was great in the storylines. Match quality was hella good. Like I just, and the thing about Abrahantes that people don't know is, okay, yeah, some people think his like hype man thing was a little cheesy with Penta and Phoenix or whatever, but also he's one of the liaisons backstage for the Spanish speaking talent, and did a lot of work with the talent and helping wrangle people and helping translate. And even didn't Alvaro give him credit for bringing Alvaro in and getting him a job and stuff?
Yeah,
like,
he did. Yeah, on the
regardless of what you think about Alex as a character, like he was an advocate for Mexicans in wrestling and Latinos in wrestling in general. So I, for one, am sad to see him leaving that position. I think he's a nice guy. I think he was always genuine about everything that he was doing with the company, for better or for worse, whether you liked what he was doing or not. And he had his detractors like anybody in wrestling, but at the same time, good dude, and he was there for all the right reasons. So I think it's unfortunate to see him go. And I thought it was hilarious that 2 days later, John Cruz is in a translator role. But he did great. John did excellent. I kind of popped to see him out there in that role instead of what he also does, but we won't talk about. But also, that was not my pop of the week. My pop of the week was actually Stephanie Vaquer on Raw.
Oof, yeah.
She did not get a huge reaction, but unlike what's been happening with Stat, where she hasn't been getting the time, they're letting Steph get the time. She's feeling it out. She did a bilingual thing where she's speaking back and forth, and
English
the Spanish that
great.
she used was perfect.
Yeah.
Any dumb gringo should have been able to understand that promo. I got it almost word for word. I understand what she was saying.
Byron, did you get it? Did you? No.
Did I get
I understood it. I understood
I
the
said
Spanish
Byron.
parts more. I understood the Spanish parts more than English, to be honest.
Probably.
Oh, wow. Oh.
Yo comprender escribir bien bueno.
Something about that moment I just really liked, and I liked that she was getting that opportunity, and I felt like it was one of those moments where you actually felt like you got to know a talent a little bit better. Like, and yeah, the crowd was quiet, but I think they were listening, and the pop came towards the end, and it was a feel good thing to me, and that was my pop of the week.
You know what? I'm gonna say something. I have always felt that, especially when there is gonna be a Spanish speaking person, there's gonna be this Spanish moment in the thing. They give the benefit of the doubt, so that the reaction is not like because they want to pay attention. I have always noticed that, and it's not a bad thing, because it does give a larger impact on the reception of the crowd. I think that happens a lot, though.
Yeah, because, and I don't think it's hurting her at all. I don't think the crowd is done with Steph. I think they're excited about it. We're all hoping that I think she makes it to WrestleMania in a big spot. It's nice that she hasn't been one of the champions to randomly drop a belt this week, especially with the boot. So,
which was, by the way, it was like, she came out and like, oh crap. Even Danielle, which I hope he's still watching, he said, oh, that's it.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, thirsty. And you and Byron leave Rebecca alone, Thunder. Just leave.
No, Rebecca is a good person. She's good people. She's nice.
She been with us 10 years, damn it.
I think I don't know. Are you done? No,
no, yeah. That's my pop.
So pop one, it's this program MJF it's having with Bandido and Bandido in general. Even that match that got like, see, this is my point. Like, you had some really rough spots in that match, but I completely moved out of that part because of everything else that happened. So it did not. Sammy was not. I don't know. There was some weird stuff they did on the ropes that was completely dangerous and stuff like that. But I forgot about that and I moved on. And then we got to the part when we did the segment with MJF, and I love it. I mean, we probably know what the outcome is going to be, right?
Right.
But I still want to see that match because I think it's going to be great. I think it's
And
going to be.
I think it is too. And it is literally like one of the very, very few things in all of wrestling right now that actually makes sense. Even the stuff in TNA doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me right now. Like what they're doing with Kaz as champion doesn't make sense to me. Like NXT just hot shotted about a bunch of belts, like the Izzy Dame thing. Like maybe it makes sense. And I know that they had to switch up some storylines and maybe they were always going to her. But it did come out of the blue. So we can't say that NXT is totally making sense. And Oba vacating off camera didn't make sense. The CM Punk going over on Braun kind of made sense, but also it's like, okay, so that story's reset now. And then Maxine just drops her belt and she's probably going to move to the background because she's not really WrestleMania caliber. So Becky needs a new storyline. So there's nothing really there that's making sense right now. You know, Steph Vicaire randomly came out in a boot. That didn't entirely make sense of where they were going with that angle, though they started a little something there. But like out of everything all week long, like the Hangman Swerve stuff, and now they're in some secondary feud because MJF has the belt, and all of a sudden your two top guys are in a secondary feud. That didn't make a whole lot of sense being the main event. But then MJF and Bandito, we called it 2 weeks ago.
Yep. Yeah.
Everything with the ring, it all makes perfect sense. Thank God MJF is saving wrestling.
Also, it's a pop because we got this right like in November or something.
Right.
so
and thankfully we did because we were looking forward to it.
Because it is a great program. Whatever happens, we're gonna get a great match.
And also, I will turn on Dynamite and Collision every week while it's happening to see if I'm gonna get a little piece of it. Like that, and that's the whole point. That's why you have storylines that matter, because it's supposed to make me want to watch the show. It actually makes me want to watch the show, and not a lot of these other things that are happening right now do. Like a lot of talent make me want to watch the show just because I like them, but of storylines in wrestling right now, it might be the only one that I'm interested in.
Yes, actually, yeah, probably. I think. Yeah, Jesus, yeah,
and whatever's going to happen with Mr. Iguana and Lola Vice next.
Yeah, well, that is the only thing that I gotta say about AAA. We do have to. They do have to be more consistent in storyline progression,
right?
Because events are great. I hope that changes now that they're gonna be on TV with like Fox and Tubi and all that stuff. That's another thing.
Have to.
Yeah, they will have to, but. Yeah, I think this MJF stuff is what's gonna make me watch the show next. And also, yes, Byron, where are you? Byron's having a good time by himself.
Huh? I'm having a great time. I'm looking at stuff on Instagram.
I would have liked for as like a side pop. I think I would have liked for Andrade to be a pop, but it was just, I don't know, caught in the middle of weird stuff.
They just redid the first step of whatever his thing is going to be.
I'm going to edit that stuff so it's
right.
the same thing. It's the same, the same thing. And then Don Cal is like, they just like, okay, nothing happened. This didn't happen 3 weeks ago or like 5 weeks ago, whatever. We just redo it. And then he just pointed out, I got 4 Mexicans right here. He's like, oh, I had 4 before. Now I have 5. That was weird. But another pop that I have, it's Grand Slam Mexico happening again. I would have loved to get a date though, so I can make arrangements and plans and all that stuff. But
I mean,
I'll take the fact
eventually. But here's the problem: Tony releases his date right now. Then all of a sudden you have AAA versus the Ghost of Hulk Hogan and Worlds Collide 4. Like
you're right.
Undertaker wrestles again in Mexico on same day as Grand Slam.
I mean, it might happen. I don't know if it's gonna be on the same day because it's kind of hard to book a Wednesday show. And if
you're Tony Khan, you are afraid to put out a date now. You have to be.
The only thing that I do gotta say on that is something I was discussing earlier, is that you do have a capped capacity crowd at 50,000. Like you're not gonna start breaking records because you're doing it at Arena Mexico, which is great, and I love it, and I love the experience and all. But you do have that capped population because it is in that arena. So
What, 50,000 is the cap there?
well, I think you can do 20, but you might have to be friends with a couple of fire
Gotcha.
fire departments.
Fire marshal.
Yeah, fire marshal.
Chicago style.
Yeah. So that's the only thing, because I would love to see something like a stadium of people, and you have like 15 stadiums in Mexico City. But also, where will they go? Because I'm pretty sure they have AAA has Arena Monterrey, they have Arena Ciudad de Mexico, which is not the same, but it's just modern, and then they have Arena Guadalajara, which are the other three main places.
But
like
none of those are over even 30,000.
I'm not sure. I think. Hold, let me see. But then, if you go to like show centers and stuff like that, show center here is also AAA. So WWE has the arenas, and then AAA has the other one. So it's kind of, I don't know, but I think it's great. I think,
but I don't know that Tony's really looking to do that again after the Texas experiment. I mean, he had to give back some of the money for not doing all the promotions and stuff that he was supposed to do that week. Not that it was a big deal. He still made money. He still came up on the plus side. It was still a great venue. I was in that stadium. It was packed. It looked great.
Those things are super fun though, when you can get kind of a consistent crowd and they get into it, but it doesn't get played out like the old NXT crowd had gone for a while, where they would take over the show.
Right.
I hope he does it again.
Well, no,
it just depends on what.
Well, I wasn't talking about like soccer stadiums, because Azteca is like 81,000 people.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, do you think that Tony Khan can go to Mexico with a show that big now, especially after falling short at All In Texas?
Also, I don't think Azteca, nobody will, not even AAA can fill it out. Like, I don't think WWE. I don't know. It will be interesting to see if WWE can fill it out.
I don't know if you can create enough supply and demand, but I also don't know that Tony Khan understands Lucha Libre well enough. Like, if you put in a couple of big stars and you did some type of apuestas or something big, and you brought some big American stuff there, it's possible. I mean, it happened in Wembley in London. It was the right timing and the right demand in the market. I think you could potentially do that in Mexico, but you have to have the right show and the right timing. I don't think AEW's got that juice right now. Maybe
you will have to do like
years,
Mystico's mask or something.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Some people might be happy about that.
Well, let me talk about that. This might be my drop. I think there's. I mean, I'm not saying I've only talked to him twice. I think, like, cross words. I just realized that you sent me this, and he has worked the most dates of any luchador in the past 5 years.
Yeah,
at least 4. So he is evidently overworked. Now, the orchestration, the way that this looks set up, is like every third day we got a news about him. Now people are booing him, all this stuff. It just feels a little orchestrated. It just doesn't feel that.
Right. And to put it in the context
organic.
of what Tony's saying, that there are rumors and reports. There's reports. I shouldn't say rumors. There's reports that he is not always very friendly at signings in some of his public engagements, and he's getting kind of this reputation, but it also seems like somebody might want him to have that reputation. I don't know.
Well, you know what? I mean, I don't like this conspiracy theory stuff. You guys know that I don't even like to get that extended in this kind of discussions. But that moment in Mexico City, in Arena Mexico, when everyone was singing, was so impactful, was so dimensional, was once in a lifetime moment. I've experienced a lot of wrestling, and that moment was insane. Let me tell you, the whole place was vibrating. And I don't know, did it set up some alarms? So I don't know. We had this guy with no face, and now he's getting like making grown men cry with its intro. I don't know. It just feels weird. It just I might understand. Not everybody has the social battery to be dealing with fans for 120th fan in a row showing you stuff, and
Yeah, some guys are Lex Luger.
well, I don't know if it was like that level, but you know what I mean. Like,
but Lex isn't a bad guy. Lex just wasn't the man of the people like that. Like, he just wasn't that guy.
So, and also
Lex Luger,
yeah,
Miss Elizabeth Lex Luger.
Nah, before that.
But
okay.
But the thing is, like, has he ever been the wrestler you go to? Like, is he Rey Mysterio? No. I've never, like, this had never even come up in my brain. Like, oh, I'm gonna go and be treated like, like hug and handshake by Mystico. Like, that never even crossed my mind. And now that's a subject of discussion in social media so much that it's covered by news in Mexico.
Right.
I don't know, guys. It feels weird. And I mean, I'm not saying that he's the nicest person. I'm just saying it's just kind of like,
it's odd.
It's odd. Yeah, that's all I got to say about that one.
Byron, do you have a pop this week?
I do have a pop. I watched Wrestle Kingdom. I thought it was good. I couldn't watch live, but I mean, it's pretty much Tanahashi's thing. But what I like is New Japan feels like for the first time in a while that they are kind of recalibrating or restructuring their company and their show to move forward in a way that has certain integrity to it. And one of the big things is I do think Will Ospreay he made an appearance at New Year's Dash. He might be making more appearances, which would be great for them. But the big thing to me is their championship lineage and structure with all their belts. They are consolidating and making things make sense and setting forth a clear path for them. The world title will always.
So you don't
be
have
the
a
world
global champion that's underneath a world champion anymore?
Well, it's not a world champion. It's the New Japan Heavyweight Championship again. It's the New Japan. It's like when WWE had WWE champ and the world champ, but the WWE is better than than the other one. But
which is why they made the champion of the universe at a certain point.
Now they say universe, and it's dumb. Yeah. But basically, they are taking the old belt. They brought the old belt back, the V4, which is great, which I have like over here over my shoulder. You can't hear because Jim is in the way. But they brought that back, which has an incredible lineage to it, adds prestige to the matches and everything, and just to the company in general. And they, for some dumb reason, took all that away when they made the new belt. And I get the new belt was designed a certain way, but in a non-wrestling aspect and whatever, but it didn't keep the names on the sides. That was such a cool thing about the V4 belt. Every prior champ was still on the belt on the side plates. So they're
going back to that now. Now, what about everyone who was champ in between? Are they?
They brought both lineages together. The Intercontinental belt retired the day the two got put together. Okay. And they can't do that anyway because WWE copyrighted the title.
But if they say it like you said it, the Intercontinental, that's gonna be fine. I know English is like your first language. So.
It's like my third language right now.
Yeah.
So anyway, but they straightened that out where now everyone is in the same title lineage for the heavyweight title. They brought back the belt that everyone likes. Basically restored the feeling with that regard. They made a clear path for the belts in that the heavy belt and the global belt will be defended independently, even though one guy owns both of them right now. But they will also be separately. They have separate tasks. One of them will be New Japan main events, and the other one will be the foreigner or invader or whatever everyone else. Basically, it looks like the Intercontinental belt, but it's more of like the United States belt that they had.
I
It'll
get
be
it.
the one that tours. So
It's
it'll
like
be
the
the one
difference
that'll show
between
up on Dynamite.
katakana and hiragana.
In kanji.
Hi.
Oh god, kanji is so hard to learn. Anyway, so
I took
Yeah.
Japanese for 2 years. It's very hard to learn.
yeah.
Aren't they all
know
very
none of it.
difficult to learn?
So they did that. They're also consolidating their strong belts because they don't have a strong show anymore, which is why Shuri won the strong belt off of Saya Kamitani, because she had the IWGP belt, which is another mess because they had one belt in Stardom that would be like
I still don't know
the
about
other
Kamitani
promotion belt.
losing with her public persona right now, but if she needs some time, it makes sense to me, but whatever.
Well, she's great. No, she's still the top. She's still the red belt champ. She's
get
still
it.
the
I
star
get
of
it.
Stardom.
I know, but I just
And
like on that
Shuri-
show and with that crowd, with all the Aaron Wolf people watching and the Tanahashi people watching, I just felt like she needed that rub there.
Okay,
Well,
so
she got her full entrance. She got her full entrance.
What
just
do you
kind
say?
of
What?
Byron, I don't know, but for everything you described, I felt that New Japan kind of downsized.
No, they're making things make sense. It's like, but they had this one belt that was supposed to be the one that goes around to other promotions or gets defended in other promotions. I forgot what that was called, but they made the IWGP belt when they were I think bought by Bushiroad, where basically they became brother, sister, cousins of New Japan. So they had an IWGP belt so they could have matches on big New Japan shows. But then their champ, I think it was Maya Itwani. I'm probably butchering every word I'm saying right now in name, but she didn't really go to the States to work. So then they made the strong belt, and that was the one that went over. But both belts replaced the one belt. And then one of those belts sort of did a thing, and then the IWGP belt was just a forgotten thing.
Kids
And-
watching, every time he says bell, take a shot.
So it's just, I mean, that's how many they had to try and do the same thing, and they just kept forgetting. As opposed to AEW, they just, the redundant ones, one of them wouldn't do anything. So they basically took those, are putting it back together. I think they're getting more streamlined and things make sense. I think as a whole, there's some changes, but they're kind of getting to a spot where I think they're building momentum. I like their champ. Yota Tsuji is great. I think he said a lot of great stuff. Takeshita was also great. I think they had a really breakout tag team that WWE tried to sign and they couldn't, which is a new thing. They have been, I mean, they lose talents to the American dollar. That's just how it is. Livers, damn
our livers.
typos.
Think of our livers, Tony. That's what she's
Oh,
trying.
yes.
Sorry.
Oh, a quick question.
So,
You have to answer this question very quickly. Who is the current TNT champion at AEW?
Ricky Starks.
No. That character doesn't even exist.
That guy does
Tony, do
not
you
work.
know?
I should.
Take a shot in the dark. They
They
were even advertised tonight on the show.
I know he was. I'm trying to.
No, I know who it is.
Who? I'll give you another
It's
shot.
it's a guy without teeth. It's Mark Briscoe.
There
Oh,
you
Mark
go.
Briscoe. Mark Briscoe.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Hey, that took you less time than when Danny Garcia was TNT champion. So
I think we all
Mark
knew
doing
Danny
something right.
Garcia was champion, but just no one, including his fucking boss, cared. Anyways.
I mean, what they've done to the TNT championship, it's just terrible. It's like it should be called the Saturday afternoon cartoon belt at this point in time. Like
Briscoe and
it used
MJ.
to be the secondary belt. Now there's 10 other belts that seem positioned higher than the TNT belt.
Yeah, Briscoe and MJF for the belt was a good program.
Yeah.
But then but that belt needs to be, it's the TV belt. Put it on TV every week.
Every week.
You don't overthink it.
Nope. Rob Van Dam and ECW. TV title. 3 out of every 4 shows he defended it.
Mark is awesome. You could put him on TV every week. You don't have
And
to
there's 10
overthink
guys
this
that you
stuff.
could do it with. Put it on fucking Speedball or put it on Shane Taylor. I mean, there's 10 million guys that could go out there every single week and do something with it.
That's
Do
and that's the
storylines
thing.
and-
They have enough people to rotate someone in for 3 months.
Yeah,
So rotate
absolutely.
them in,
Rotate
have
them in.
them blow it up, and then switch it. To
But I get
someone
what you're
else.
saying about New Japan, but I also tend to agree with Tony. It looks like, yes, this is a restructuring period for New Japan. It's not necessarily downsizing, but it is streamlining. They need to streamline their process. They need to streamline what they're doing. And they need to get back to the point where by the time the G1 is done every year, you know what New Japan looks like. You know who the stars are. You know who the ace is. You know who matters and who's just there for fun. Like, and they make even the never open weight 6-man by the end of the G1 will at least make sense. Right now, they're not there. They need to consolidate this thing and they need to get back on track. They also have to figure out who are the stars.
Yeah, they're doing that now. I mean, that's the whole New Year's Dash thing. Is like the first Raw after Mania, they do a reset. The people who are leaving get kicked out of Bullet Club.
Yeah, so
Bullet
Sonata's
Club-
gone too now, right? Is that official?
Sonata's
The way they
gone.
announced Sonata though was really suspicious. Like,
I
why
mean, he
are you
walked out
announcing
with
he's
his.
taking a
He
leave?
wore an LED screen that said like "I'm fucking leaving" when he came out to his match.
I know, but what I'm saying is that, and then the company making the announcement makes it feel like it's a work to me. Like, if you're
Something's
really
weird.
doing that, why does the company even acknowledge it?
Right.
I would just be
They
like,
took
bitch,
the-
leave then.
They turned him into a clown. He's not, perfect 10 in every single aspect of being a pro wrestler, but he was good enough for as high as he got with the company.
Yeah,
And they kind of
got
just turned
charisma.
him into he has his own type of charisma, and they turned him into a clown. But they got to build people up, and they gotta Shota, by the way, Shooter, what happened to him? He's been so up and down, and then I think in the G1 or something, he did really well, and then like he came out and he was like, he's not even in shape anymore. I don't get it.
I mean,
Well,
Bullet
I
Club
gotta say
itself did need to
something
be
about
shut
the
down.
Bullet Club shooting down. Like, I don't think I remember they doing something like this. Like, if they had done this with the NWO, maybe we wouldn't had a disaster at the end of WCW. Like they just like, okay, let's abandon this for a while. Maybe we will come back later, but let's just abandon it right now. I think that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I kind of like about what they did with the Bullet Club. It wasn't like some definitive, like, it's done. It was like, no, everybody that was in it is doing something else now.
Yeah.
I feel like that was a smart way to do it.
Most of them are in America.
Fizzle. You can still sell merch, and maybe if there's a time or a place, or TK lets some of these guys go back and realizes he can't actually make Jay White a star, and then all of a sudden he's back in New Japan.
Where
or
is
whatever.
Jay White? Is he hurt?
He's supposed to be hurt still.
He's hurt.
That's
also,
That's why the
Jay
Bang
White-
Bang Gang is currently Austin and Juice.
I gotta tell you, Jay White in New Japan would be. I mean, I'm sure he wouldn't like the flights anymore.
It would
compared to what
reinvigorate
he
the
has to do
company
now.
right now, though.
But that's such a format built
They need
for him.
one of those guys, even if they had Kyle Fletcher and Mark Davis back, like anybody.
No,
It's
Fletcher.
Hey, so the Joe, not Joe something. But I think they replaced both Cage with now I'm forgetting his name, but with that guy Jake Doyle.
Yeah,
just Jake somebody, but
Jake.
they gave him a new name, and it looks. I mean, how could he not be the replacement for Cage? Also, he looks like they have him replacing Fletcher in the tag team too, because they're not going to make Fletcher tag anymore.
Right, can't. He's a huge star. Speaking of which, last thing I want to talk about real quick. I find it really funny. ESPN released their wrestling awards, and there were some obvious WWE ones in there, like Dominic Mysterio was the men's wrestler of the year, which actually I'm totally fine with that. And Steph Vicaire was the women's wrestler of the year. FTR, however, again, won tag team of the year. I love Dax. I don't understand this. This is the second time they've won this award. What did they do this year? 2024, I would have 100% given it to him. 2025, no. The FTR was
like-
not the tag team of the year in 2025. I
It's
don't
like-
get it.
Yeah.
This is Pacino getting an Oscar for Scent of a Woman.
Right. That's exactly what it is. It was like, oh, whoops, we should have recognized you sooner. So now we'll do it in a year where you didn't do shit, but you did just enough to qualify to be in the category. Like whatever. But the one that I found the most interesting, keep in mind these are awards from ESPN. What does ESPN have? WWE pay-per-views. What did they vote the pay-per-view of the year? AEW Revolution. This is coming from ESPN, the home of WWE pay-per-views. That's just amazing. I don't know what it says about the industry, but I feel like that sums up 2025 in wrestling to me, that your new home for pay-per-views is like, yeah, best pay-per-view was the other company. Thanks, guys. Thanks. Thanks
Check
for
it out on
making me feel
HBO Max.
Anyway, that's all we have time for, but this has been a very interesting conversation. There's been a lot going on in wrestling, and it wasn't a very good week in wrestling, so I'm hoping for bigger and better next week as we head into some interesting events. Let's see if WWE can maybe set the table for Rumble and some interesting things to happen now that they've done all this hot shotting. Maybe we'll see some of these new guys start to debut, or maybe we won't see them till Rumble. And no, there was no Chris Jericho this week. There never was going to be. He was always booked somewhere else this week. Don't believe everything you read in the dirt sheets.
Don't believe the hype.
And Chris Jericho also has an entire Fozzy tour booked through most of February for like 3.5 solid weeks of being in Europe and other countries. I don't think he's going to pop up at WWE before that's done. I think Chris
He's
is
gonna
take his time.
He's gonna do the Rumble.
Maybe he does. Maybe
But he will
He'll-
just appear at
unless-
the Rumble. Not-
He'll do the. Here's the thing, because he's good with the business side of things. He'll do the Rumble unless there's like 2 other people debuting, and then he
Right.
won't. Then don't share the spotlight. You know.
Right. And
You
that's
wanna-
the whole thing. I don't feel like you need Chris Jericho right now. You could save Chris Jericho to be a surprise at WrestleMania, even if you're already paying him. Like, Chris does not need to be in the Rumble. I think there's other surprises. You
Right.
do the call-ups from NXT, or you put a Joe Henry in there again, or whatever it is. I don't think you need that moment from Chris Jericho. I think that he's a big enough pop on his own just because of the novelty of it, whether you like him or not. I know a lot of people have their issues with Chris, whatever. Doesn't matter. I think it'll be a moment of interest enough that he's coming back that it can be a standalone thing. It could be on a freaking SmackDown or Saturday Night's Main Event. It could be anywhere. It doesn't need to be one of these other spots. I think it's almost wasted for it to be one of these other spots, especially for a guy that's just showing up to retire, basically. Like, don't invest a spot that could be a big moment for a younger talent in Chris. That's stupid.
I mean, is he coming back for a run, or are they going to do the Hall
I
of
don't
Fame?
even know if he's actually even coming back. It's not confirmed. I haven't heard anybody backstage saying anything about it. Like, there's a lot of speculation, but as far as I know, it is all just speculation. His AEW contract is lapsing sometime this month. I don't know if it even has officially lapsed yet or not. And, you know, there's some talk at WWE that maybe Chris can get another run, but I haven't heard anything from anyone I've talked to that leads me to believe that there's any kind of done deal. But also, Chris is a high-level guy, so he's just going to directly talk to other high-level guys. He's not going to go up from the bottom. He's going to come in through the sky roof, you know?
He's probably still trying to call Vince.
Yeah. Who knows? He's talking to Pat Patterson about another run.
I just wonder if he wants to do like a real run, or if he wants to do like the Hall of Fame and 6-month tour on TV thing.
And that might be part of the holdup too. And, you know, they've got some plans for AJ and some other talent. You know, there's the other guys that aren't long for this world. So Chris is probably negotiating what they're going to do with him, and they're probably thinking about what they're going to do with some other talents. And
I have a question for you. So like Cena's been basically retired for a while to do Hollywood stuff, and he's shrunk. He's lost a lot of mass. You know, like he's still buff, but he's not wrestler Cena buff anymore. When AJ finally retires, especially after he just gained like 20
He's
pounds,
just going
muscle,
to get fat.
you think he's
He's
not going to go back to like
No.
old TNA skinny?
No. It's going to be the exact opposite. You have to understand. You have to understand. AJ Styles is a legit Back Hills, Georgia country boy. That dude is going to go sit at home and eat his mama's sausage biscuits and gravy for like 4 weeks straight. AJ Styles is going to straight up be fat.
I don't know. They invented this thing called GLP-1, so who knows?
They don't have them in Georgia, Tony.
Why even? Yeah, but why bother if you're retired?
I got 5 on it. $5 right now says that within 2 years of AJ Styles retiring, that dude is at least 60 pounds heavier and probably all right in here. He's going to have soccer mom hair swooped forward like some emo band trying to cover up his triple chin. AJ Styles will be fat, and it'll be the right kind of fat because he will be drinking and eating all the best food in the world down in
Skinny
Georgia.
legs, big gut.
Yes, out there deer hunting, sitting on the deer stand, drinking a sweet tea, waiting on his mama's barbecue to come around.
Sweet tea.
Boy, going over there to the NASCAR museum that's about 20 minutes from his house. AJ Styles is going to have a good time being retired. I'm here to tell you. So until next time, stay calm and stay in the mix.
Penis.